Yeah, you're right. Hello and welcome to DCP number 79, minus a certain Patrick Casey Holtzman. We've got a great show tonight. We've got Paris from Gamertag Radio. Hello, Paris.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, welcome.
Wow, that was one of the smoothest intros we have ever had.
No, you missed it's episode yeah.
I was supposed to fumble. My bad. 1 second. Here we go.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome. It's episode. I always forget this. 79. It's episode 79. Let's talk about some
and you
stuff.
You gotta tell some random story about what you were gonna.
I was gonna fill up my water bottle, but I forgot, and it's like half empty. What I'm hoping is this whole podcast, I'm able to have enough water next to me without having to refill it during the podcast.
God damn! Nice. It's like you're channeling Holtzman.
Inner Holtzman is right there.
Paris, thank you for joining us this week, man.
Yeah. No, thank you. I mean, it's funny because I've been listening and or watching all of you guys going way back to even the Planet Destiny days. So it is truly an honor to be on here tonight. And again, thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So the real reason that we invited you on is because we have challenged Hamrick to a arm wrestling contest, and we found out that we are not at all equipped.
There's a small clause in there that any guest can do stand in, and we heard you packing the heat.
I'm going to politely decline that one. I met Noseworthy, and I would say go grab Noseworthy. He's a better candidate.
He's got pretty buff. Noseworthy has gotten pretty buff.
Yeah.
So you do this podcasting thing's not new to you. You have your own podcast, right?
Yeah, I'm a co-host on Gamertag Radio, which has actually been around since 2005. It was started by Danny Pena, aka Godfrey, and he's actually the reason I got into podcasting in the first place. I had my own podcast starting in 2006. I did that until 2011. It was called Uncle Gamer Radio, and then I, doing air quotes, retired, and I was just good friends with Danny and Pete. He's the other co-host, and I wound up joining them in 2013. Because of BioShock Infinite, and I've been on there ever since. And it's been a great time. Had a great time. It's been an amazing journey over these years, just going from the original Xbox to where we are right now: PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, Switch, everything. Gamertag Radio, as the name would imply, started as an Xbox podcast, but then they made the switch to just start covering everything. And that's what we do. We talk PlayStation, Xbox, PC, everything. But Destiny, that's my special thing. That's something that I've been a fan of, even from that first reveal during that PlayStation announcement when I first heard about it. And I just had been following it ever since. I found Guardian Radio, Mark and those guys over there. I was a big fan of them. Made a few appearances on their show from time to time. And I don't even remember how I met you, Pope. Somewhere along the way, I met Pope, and we became friends. I know, right?
It's all, along the way.
He hunted us down and
it's kind of like
trapped us in a corner.
That eventually you realize that you have this virus and you got to go to the doctor about it. But you don't
I don't know where I got herpes, but I don't like it.
No, but it's funny because I knew Pope, and obviously, like I said, I followed all you guys going back to the Planet Destiny days, and Pope and I were kind of the Twitter friends, message here and there kind of thing. And then obviously there was the Destiny 2 reveal last May. It's when I got to first meet Pope face to face, and I actually got to go to Bungie myself for the review event in September of last year, and that was a great thing. Got to meet a lot of amazing people at that time as well, and here we are talking awesome. Destiny
well,
stuff.
I wanted to ask you on Gamertag Radio, you say you're the resident Destiny fanatic, but how do your other co-hosts think of what do they think of Destiny, and are they fans like you?
Well, Pete, he was really big into it as well during Destiny 1, but he was on Xbox, I was on PlayStation, so we didn't get to play together as much. He kind of made the switch over to PlayStation more around the time of what was it, Wrath of the Machine? I'm forgetting names now. But during that time, we would play a little bit together. And then obviously everybody was super excited for Destiny 2. And hey, what happened happened. And he kind of waned off on it shortly after launch of Destiny 2. Danny, we always made the joke that he started playing Destiny 1 when it first came out. And he was under-leveled for the first raid for Vault of Glass. And he stunk, so they kicked him out, and he never played again. But
Harsh.
he came back a little bit for Destiny 2. We actually carried him through raid towards the end of Destiny 1. But yeah, he's not as big into it as Pete and I, and obviously I'm been super hardcore. And I guess I'll just say, since I'm talking about that right now, what's kept me into Destiny has been my son. He was 9 years old when The Taken King came out, and that's when he used to just sit and watch me play all the time. And eventually he was like, well, Dad, can I play when you're not playing? Sure. I let him play a hunter because he wants to play a hunter, right?
Wait, did you give him his own account, or did you make him farm for you?
Oh, I made him farm for me at first, of course. But then,
solid.
Yeah. But then Santa Claus decided to get him his own PlayStation 4, so then I got him his own account. And actually, it was Crimson Doubles, which I know a lot of people didn't like at first, but we would play Crimson Doubles together.
I loved it.
That's when it clicked. That's when it was like, oh, this is amazing. I get to play with my son. We get to do Destiny together. He joined the clan I was in. Next thing I know, we're doing trials together. We're raiding together, all that stuff. So that's the one big thing about Destiny that's really kept me engaged this entire time is just my son. We're literally able to bond over this game, and it was a great thing. And now we play Fortnite together. And
I was going to ask you, did he stay with? Has he stayed with Destiny? Have you guys moved on to other games? How's that look?
So I took a break. Obviously, there's been a lot of challenges. I took a break around the holiday time, and again, we both came back around Crimson Doubles. I play more regularly than he does now, but he's kind of waiting for that May update. He follows everything that's been going on. He's like, yeah, Dad, this new update's okay, but I need more. This isn't enough. I'm going to go play Fortnite. So then he runs back to Fortnite, but he'll be back. He's still engaged into the game.
A lot of people like that.
I really like that your podcast covers a variety of different games. You've recently had some really cool stuff happen with Ubisoft. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we were able to partner with Ubisoft for Far Cry 5, and we did this thing called Hope County Stories, where we had this unique opportunity where we got to sit down with the voice actors of the game, and we interviewed them in character about Hope County.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and it was so funny because we did this primarily during PAX Prime, and we had no idea. We didn't know what we were going to say. We didn't know what we were going to do. We literally we weren't even sure if the voice actors were going to be like really engaged and wanting to do it. But all of them were super into it. They all instantly got into character when we sat down with them. And
that's got to be fun.
And we just freestyled it. That was the crazy thing about it. We freestyled it, and it came out really great. But Joseph Seed, the father, the main villain of Far Cry 5, we didn't get a chance to talk to him until a Far Cry 5 preview event right before launch. And he was probably the most in character out of everyone. He was super into it. If anyone listens to it, he actually captures me and brings me in. I become a part of the family. It's pretty
cool.
So how does anybody listening, how would they find that?
You can go to Gamertag.
You can stories.
Yeah, you can go to gamertagradio.com, and it's in our podcast feed. Their own separate episodes. There were 4 of them. And we timed it so that it literally ended right before launch. And it was really good.
It was a great opportunity, man.
Yeah, it was. It was a neat little project that we got to do, and
that's really cool.
Just very thankful to Ubisoft.
I got to play through the whole game the first week it came out, or last week I should say, and the voice acting was just top notch coming across.
Yeah,
really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, again, meeting the actual voice cast and seeing seeing how they went from just being themselves to, I mean, like snap of a finger, they were into it,
Yeah.
like completely. It's like, wow. I go, that's, I don't have that kind of talent. That just goes to show you how skilled they are doing that, being a voice actor.
Yeah, exactly.
We've had a great opportunity to be able to interview a couple voice actors from Destiny on the show. I'm always blown away at their ability to entertain, and it seems like they would be great people at a party,
Yeah.
their ability to tell stories and jump into character. We had Neil Kaplan on, and he went through how many different voices in the span of like 5 minutes. He was just jumping around.
The whole thing was him just doing different voices of characters he's done, which was amazing.
What do you think?
So fun to hear.
What do you think is something from that experience, though, like working with those voice actors and having a project? Because we've done interviews of them, but you had a specific project narrative. How were they to direct? Because you had to ask them to do lines, right?
Oh, they were very receptive, and that was the thing. It was more of when we got to talk to Greg again, Joseph Seed. He was the main villain. He was more. That was more, we kind of knew what we were doing at that point. But the other three, we had no idea. So it was really a freestyle. It was like if we ever released the unedited footage, there was a lot of back and forth. Like, do you think that was okay? Should we do it again? Okay, let's do it again. We go back and do it again. But by the time we got to Greg, that we had a lot more structure with it. But the great thing about it was the fact that the actors were very open to whatever we wanted to do. There was no resistance to it. They weren't like, well, that's not in my contract. I don't do such things. It was none of that. They're like, F it. Let's, whatever you want, man, however long you want, let's just go for it. So that was a lot of fun.
That's really fun. I haven't had a chance to play Far Cry. I know you guys have. The one thing that draws me in is those stories, those characters. So I'm going to have to check out those Hope County stories on your gamertag radio.com.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Well, one thing also with the Far Cry stuff is that it's not only like the voice acting, but also the motion capture has gotten to a place where like they really are acting. They're not just voice acting anymore. Yeah. They're embodying a character, and even the modeling team is modeling these guys to make them look like that. So like Joe Seed looks like Joe Seed in real life, and that's kind of terrifying playing the game.
Yeah, it is. It's like if you saw how Hellblade was made and her acting in it, it was straight up just she was Senua.
Yeah.
So
my God.
They're like fully embracing the character. It was amazing to see that stuff.
Yeah, they're really becoming performances now, which I think is actually really exciting to see that expand in the video game industry, and then see like the Hollywood industry embrace that and be like, oh, there's this another level of art that's happening right here that some people want to start embracing.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we've got a TWAB.
It's a TWAB.
It's a TWAB.
It's a TWAB. It's official.
It's a TWAB, yeah.
So, that's my vote. I'm pretty sure you guys agree with me. We got some juicy information. We got some upcoming info. We got a lot of facts.
Yeah, we
and
got
information.
It's a weird week, right? Because we got a lot of almost news, right? We got a lot of.
We're in a transition.
We got a lot of that hype.
News, and we're almost ready to tell you all about it. We're ready to
hold on. You know what's funny? Memes. My wife literally said that to me before the podcast. She was like, it just feels like a whole bunch of, we're about to tell you some stuff, but we're not. And I was like, this is Bungie.
This is your relationship with you just met this girl. Things are going well, right?
Mm-hmm. Is she pregnant?
We don't know. No, she's not pregnant. Something for pregnant. We're on the second.
Contextualize what's going on here.
Third date might be pregnant. You never know.
You guys just, let's go ahead.
I
want Patrick back.
We're not doing.
Continue, Cole. I want to hear it.
Okay, I'm done.
I want to hear it.
I want to hear it.
We're not doing the analogy. I was really looking forward to the analogy.
Yeah, it sounded tasty, man. Come on, hit me with the analogy.
I'm excited.
You know what, Paris? I have to put up with this every week. Can you believe that?
We were just wondering if she was pregnant. We were trying to have the facts.
I was just trying to paint a mental picture.
Nick, just edit this all out, and make me sound really smart. Okay, go.
All right, so big deal. We got a Bungie bounty. Bungie bounties usually aren't newsworthy events, right? You watch a Bungie bounty because you either just want to see people play Destiny, or you want your favorite streamers doing it. This time it was a little bit different, right? They had Cosmo and DMG playing some Mayhem on PC against the PC community, but in between matches they were doing a Q&A. They were taking questions off of Twitter, and they had Josh Hamrick and Kevin Yanes.
Yep.
Answering questions. And some of the questions, it was almost surprising that they were asking them, right? Is we didn't get like super detailed answers. Like if you're looking for, what are you guys going to do about time to kill in Destiny? They said, we're looking at it.
Microscopes are on.
There was a lot of
what we're doing.
Looking at it, we're talking about it, we're working on it.
That was
With
one
the
of their
exotic
most vague
update, things are
answers,
going to happen. It's going to shift a bit. You're going to have to just see.
In reference to the Taken King, when they were asked about time to kill, they specifically said exotics don't feel exotic enough. Some of these weapons are getting damage buffs that can have a direct impact on the average time to kill of an encounter. So from their wording there, it looks like there is going to be a time to kill buff for exotics.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
What I'm reading.
Yes. Yes.
No?
Maybe.
Why no?
Sounds like we got some clear answers.
I thought that's what they're saying. They're buffing the exotics to bring it up to Vigilance win.
Bingo.
Yes. Yes.
True. But I don't
Point
think
taken.
that necessarily every exotic buff per se, or what makes an exotic isn't necessarily an increase in the time to kill. So I don't think that.
Let's take, for example, Darcy.
Mm-hmm.
I love it's called Darcy.
They don't
Darcy's
say every
in a field of flowers.
True.
They don't say every exotic weapon is going to get a time to kill upgrade. They say some of these weapons are getting damage buffs that can have direct impact on the average time to kill.
Yeah.
Okay.
So some weapons in the exotic class will get a time to kill increase.
Like, let's say, for example, a quality of life exotic change that we are hoping to see. I think everybody's hoping to see. The Borealis in game, you can hold down square or hold down a button.
What's the Borealis?
And
I did. Sorry,
what? What?
It's a sniper. It's a sniper.
Is it what?
It's a sniper.
Man, I like snipers. I feel like I would have heard of this.
Right, and then it switches elements.
I don't have this on PC. What are you talking about?
You don't? No.
Is it not on PC?
No.
What are you guys doing to me?
It's
I swear to God, I can't. Is this like some sort of inside joke? Is it an
Can we get the
exclusive
bells?
for PC?
Can you ring the bells, please?
It's a PS4
Yeah, can you ring the bell?
Is it
Yeah.
really? I'm really sorry because it's a really fun sniper.
Oh, you didn't
guys
know
really
that?
should get
It's an exclusive?
I
It's
did
a
not
PS4
know. I'm so
exclusive, yeah.
sorry.
Wow.
I should have known.
That
I
was a
just
troll
sneaked
that turned
out of my-
into a enlightening moment.
It's a genuine apology. I'm
No,
sorry.
it's great,
I did
man.
not
No worries. Mhm.
So, I would love to see something like, we have the what's the auto rifle that bounces the shots everywhere.
Hard light.
Hard light.
I'd love to see hard lights have the same sort of touch to it, right? Where you can switch the elemental burn or something
Oh, that'd
like
be
that
nice.
to it.
That's a great idea, Pope.
Right. I think there's some quality of life adjustments to these exotics that we could get that don't necessarily impact the time to kill. And I hope that they don't tether themselves to just that concept of exotics need to be more powerful in time to kill. Although I think that's a great spot for them to be in. I want them to be exotic because of what they do, right? The things that they can do.
Right.
But if they don't kill faster, then they
Well,
can
no,
do
they
all the
definitely
things
need
in the world, but is it actually useful?
It can
They need to be better, but you want to pick that exotic because it fills a specific fantasy that you want to do,
Thank you.
right? So they definitely need to be brought up to be more effective so people actually use them.
Right.
But the reason that you choose that exotic specifically is because it fits your playstyle or it does something that you think is cool. Yeah.
That's what I was hoping is for something that allows me to create a character that fulfills that player fantasy.
So
I do hope they decrease the overall time to kill though, because this kind of
for
feels
primaries.
like we're gonna make everyone use exotics because those
And
kill
then all of a
faster.
sudden-
right?
Then all of a sudden, everybody's running around with the last word and Thorn.
Exclusively.
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 Yeah.
Well, but I mean, they are doing things like we're seeing with Strum and the Drang. I can't even talk today. Yeah. So where you're using those, so that's something unique that is that's also increasing the time to kill as well.
For sure. For sure.
I mean, I'd love to see what they're going to do to Rat King that will make it exotic.
That's the one,
right?
Oh man,
it's got that sidearm buff to it, so it's a little more powerful. But what is something else that we can see that it would make it exotic? I just don't think that we should limit the exotic changes to being simply a lowering of time to kill.
Oh, of course. Well, they said they wanted to make it more powerful for the fan stage, just like you were talking about. So that's going to happen. It's just how far are they going to take that? And I personally, for me, I would love to see them really lean in deep to it. Like I want the exotics to really truly feel exotic. So every time I want to have a problem of wondering which exotic I'm going to use, as opposed to being like, well, obviously I'm going to use this because there's no reason to use something else. Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
They specifically mentioned Vigilant Swing. They were asked about whether it will be allowed to reign supreme in the Crucible. And they say, basically, they don't believe in slowing down the Vigilant Swing. It's time to kill in a world where our players are asking for a faster time to kill. Instead, we should be adjusting more weapons up to a level where they can compete. I believe you'll find a few returned exotics. They can do that in the Season 3 exotic update. So, few tidbits in there. It's cool that they're not nerfing the Vigilant Swing.
Great.
They're bringing other weapons up to its level, which is exciting. And they also basically talk about there's going to be some more returned exotics.
I mean, Graviton Lance is a great example of a gun that its time to kill was lowered with the pulse rifle buffs of not necessarily a specific buff to Graviton Lance. But
now, it's the first time I've ever heard somebody say something nice about that gun.
I think it's great. I love the way it sounds. I love the lore behind it.
It's pretty with the ornament on it.
And the changes to it are just going to be making it more effective and the elements more, fantastical. Is that a word?
Sure.
But that if you haven't checked out Graviton Lance in PvP, it's fun. And it's useful.
I haven't tried it in PvP yet. I always loved the sound, the growl it has. It's like it's got a low end bass guitar hit in there that they added mixed in. It sounds really cool.
Yeah. It's going to be creative to see what they put out and how we get to see them being touched. I hope that they do stuff like the Risk Runner. It's has a great opportunity to build around, at least in PvE, a rushing run and gun, close quarters. I'm thinking of like Battle of Six Fronts. I'm thinking Shaxx running into battle with an SMG. There's some lore behind that gun that is really not behind that play style of that rushing forward Titan that isn't being realized, and they can connect so much with these exotics.
Yeah. That gun is legit a sleeper. I mean, you see it so infrequently, but it's so damn good, especially once you figure out that you can damage yourself with your own grenade to activate its power mode and just go on a tear in the Crucible. That thing is gnarly.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That thing is super powerful. There was a question that came in about returning systems, weapon systems to primary special heavy. Josh Hamrick had this to say: we know that you want more control over your loadouts. We can expect weapon slot changes in the future of Destiny 2. We are actively working on a new system right now, and we'll have more to show until this summer.
So this is very interesting because they specifically said a new system.
Yeah.
Which means we're not just going back to the old system. So what could it be? Could it be a fourth slot? Could it be put any gun in any slot you want?
My suspicion, Watts, is that this is one of the things that you people who are going to the Destiny conference, help me out with the name of it again? Summit. This is something that you guys might get a preview at and get asked for opinions on, because
I would really hope so.
Yeah.
I find it to be such a divisive topic. Anytime you ask this question or you start talking about the weapon system in Destiny 2 compared to Destiny 1, is you get 5 different answers from 5 different people.
Very divided.
Yeah. like I certainly hope that they present this to the summit, and that people who do go to the summit have put some thought into what they'd like a new weapon system to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. I think it would be the perfect opportunity to do that because, like you said, so many people want so many different things. Some people love this system. Some people want the old one. Some people want a new one. So if they can have a bunch of people there who love Destiny try it out and give their feedback on it, this is a perfect opportunity for them to do that.
Yep.
I hope that they have some kind of system available for us to try it out.
I don't think they're going to go back to Destiny 1
I don't
weapon
think so
systems.
Yeah.
Well, no, they said do, so.
I think the answer to that is so clear to me. Josh's answer would be totally different. He said, we know that you want more control over your loadouts. He's looking at the question, which is, can we bring back D1 weapon systems with primary, second, special, and heavy? They're translating that question into we want more control. Is that true? Do we want more control over our loadouts? Mm-hmm. Is that what it? Is that what that request is?
And they want to just snipe.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many things I want, Pope. I want more power in PvE. I want to be able to use a sniper and a rocket. I want to be able to use a shotgun and a sword. I want some of the options I had from Destiny 1 power wise to be available to me again in Destiny 2. I feel like in PvE a lot of options were taken away from me that I really miss.
Mm-hmm.
In PvP, I feel like they have a really good opportunity to really kind of balance how that ammo is kind of doled out and like what weapons you have available to you at a given time. And right now it just feels like a mishmash. Is like there's so much power ammo around that you could be dodging rockets or sniper shots. You just don't know. It's just
feels very
it feels a little
haptic or whatever.
Yeah. Feels a little weird. I'd really like to see them definitely break out at least like kinetic power and explosive power.
So they got it seems like there's 3 dominant possibilities. There's the weight system, like I said, any slot could have anything, but it's a weighted type of thing. Mm-hmm. There's so let's eliminate D1 completely. So there's not returning back to that system because they said they want to evolve it. So then there's the system of returning fusions, shotguns, and snipers into the energy slot and making it so energy weapons would coexist with those weapons in the energy slot. There's adding a 4th slot. So you'd have the same thing that you have right now, but then remove rockets and explosives or grenades, put those into a specialized slot. Then you might say, yeah, but how do you access that? Well, they're adding an emote wheel, so they could easily add in a weapon wheel. That would be very easy for them to do that, I'm assuming anyways. And then there's also the possibility that they put... no, actually, I think that would be it. I was going to say they put the energy weapons into kinetic, but that's essentially D1. They're not doing that.
Of everything you said, the to me the most logical or the one that's not going to overcomplicate things for the average gamer is going to be option 2, where you're just taking snipers and shotguns and you're just putting them back in the energy slot. I do wonder what that's going to do for balance in PvP, because now everyone's going to be running around with a shotgun and a fusion rifle and sniper. It in that sense, it goes back to D1 if they do that. And I know they want to evolve it. I don't have the answer. So when you guys do go to the community summit, I really hope they show you what it's going to be, because while I did not have a problem with the D1 weapon slots, I thought it was fine and just assumed that's what we were going to get in Destiny 2. This is an opportunity for them to evolve it and to do something different. So I really do hope that they do something different and it's not just copy and paste of D1 again.
Yeah. I agree. It is interesting thinking about that. If they did just put it into the energy slot and then we have the ammo problems of early D1, then the Crucible is going to get affected heavily by that, because it's going to be Shotgun City and you respawn with shotgun ammo and you're just not going to run out. And so you have a different ammo economy to deal with. So it almost makes sense that they'd have to do something where they either shift the energy slot completely away from having primaries, or they do add this new explosive slot so that they can have a new ammo box like they had in D1 in the Crucible. Because honestly, the D1's Crucible wasn't that far off. It's just we had cheesy kills. It's like instant shoulder charge kills. That's kind of cheesy. Instant death from stickies. That's cheesy. They took away that stuff, and then they just did everything away. They changed everything with it.
Yeah.
And it's like, really, we just wanted a few things different from D1. But
I think honestly, a lot of us just wanted stronger primaries. Like what we were saying, primary. We just wanted stronger primaries, because if you have like hand cannons, for example, that kill quickly, are very accurate, they don't have bloom, all that stuff, they feel crisp and good to use. If you have a good shot, you're going to choose to go for that primary shot over throwing a sticky grenade that might miss and then you die, right? You're always going to choose to use that strong primary over anything else. So I think that I would just want to say, please focus on strong primaries, because that's going to balance a lot of stuff too.
I think that some of the things that made me concerned about that, because I feel like team shotting was effective in that we didn't necessarily need stronger primaries, but I feel like increasing primary damage and still having that team shot meta was going to be not the way to go. These are my opinions, but playing competitive with no radar has broken that team shot meta up a little bit, where I think there's now room for that time to kill to be, or that power level of the primaries to be increased. So I'm converting over more to that way of thinking now that we have the no radar and competitive.
I need something that can kill a guy with an Acreus who's rushing me across the map faster than he can get to me.
Do you know what you need, Briar?
What
you
do I
need a
need?
strong hand cannon that has in-air accuracy, so you can back up, you can jump, and you could shoot him before he gets to you.
I like the sound of it.
That sounds very skill-based. That seems like you would have to be really good at controlling your guardian and being,
I mean, if a guy is across the map though, and he's running at me, aping me like from across the map in a straight goddamn line, and just the time to kill alone makes it absolutely impossible for me to kill that guy before he gets to me. That's
you got a problem.
Kind of an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't want him to nerf the accuracy. I just want a defense.
You just need to get good, Briar.
That's what I'm trying to do, and I need the miracle of modern science to do it.
Interesting.
Modern science, help me.
No, I'm with you, Watts. I think that there could be. I'm not saying a drastic buff in it, but I do see room for there to be an increase in a primary ammo or primary damage output.
I think it would do good things.
The next thing is pretty big, and I'm going to read a lot of this because I think that what he says is important. The question is, what is the exact design philosophy that lets you determine when a balance change is good? And they go on to talk a little bit about testing. And Josh Hamrick says, at any given moment, we're working on numerous sandbox updates that follow the same pipeline. First, we set goals for what we want to accomplish with any given update. For example, the purpose of 1.1.4 was to directly affect the pace of combat and to allow for more powerful and heroic moments. In Season 3, we'll be delivering a round of exotic weapon tuning intended to make them feel more exotic. With our goals defined, we make the changes, playtest, and iterate as long as we can. Destiny is a huge game with tons of different areas that may be affected in different ways, positive or negative, from any given change we make. Our test team also plays them with us and helps us hunt for anything that we may have broken. Finally, those changes have to get packaged up into an update and certify those builds with each of our platforms before they finally roll out to you. That sounds like a lot. That's not a short process.
Well, no, it's definitely not. I mean, Destiny is a game where you change one thing because something's unbalanced in Crucible. You have to look at PvE because they are not separate systems. They're on the same engine. They affect the same game. You change one thing, you could drastically change something in a raid. You could change something in a strike. You have to make sure that everything works. And so it's a little difficult to just whip around the corner and completely change something in Destiny because of the type of game that it is. Unfortunately.
I like this answer because he describes so much of the process and why that process exists. It's a short answer, but it's detailed and it's informative.
True.
It's not something I would initially, I wouldn't put all that together when I was thinking about I just want time to kill to be faster.
Right.
Like it goes through a long process.
I hear you. And yeah, it's interesting revealing that, but at the same time, I think that's also part of their issue is they're not willing to make mistakes with their updates. And so it ends up getting extended for a month or two or longer because they're trying to buff everything out of it when once they get it out, they could immediately see some response from the public and then be preparing a different update the following month.
Right. Yeah. Like put it into the public will test it for you essentially. Of course you need to make sure it doesn't completely break everything. But don't be too afraid to put something out that's maybe a little unbalanced and we deal with it for a month and then you put something else out, Because they've done this process and tested a lot of stuff and we still got the Prometheus lens. So
exactly.
Clearly some stuff is down to always go wrong.
Yeah, things still slip through the cracks, even though they have like such a rigorous testing process.
Next question was, are there any set plans to introduce new elements, classes, subclasses, or weapon types to the game in the near future? Josh says yes to some of these. From my desk right now, I can look around and see new hotness on several people's screens. We'll be showing off a lot of this stuff in the months to come.
Yeah.
I mean, from new elements, classes, subclasses, weapon types. Weapon types I could see being a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see any of these things being a thing, and any of them,
but
not
only
being
a few,
thing.
so it's not all of them.
Yeah.
Reshifted subclass trees.
Trees, I could see happening for sure. Trees is a thing that can happen.
Yeah, that could easily happen, right?
Yeah.
I would love to see him do the trees, redo the trees.
New class, I couldn't really see that unless that was like for the Taken Queen update. A new element.
I want a death class.
Death class would be pretty cool. A new element is also really hard because of the whole lore discussion about the universe essentially being assembled on those three pillars. But
I mean, they blew up the tower to get rid of
You're
our
right.
weapons.
They blew up the library with all the lore in it. No one knows anymore.
we got kinetic
they
plus.
They erased the grimoire.
There you go.
How committed are we to this lore if it makes the game more?
Something that the lore people got upset about is that they said that the grimoire was now folklore and not canon, and that may be prepping for some significant changes in what we've read in the canon or in the grimoire. So
I want to grasp whatever made Thorn, make that into a class for everyone. Boom, death, poisoned stuff. It'd be cool. It might be really awful and unbalanced, but it would be cool.
But wouldn't it be fair to say that before they even attempt to add a new class or a new weapon type or anything of that nature, let's get what's the current meta, let's get that right first before we start tinkering again, which could completely unbalance everything that they've done in the sandbox already.
That's fair. I don't think it's necessarily a good idea because you could balance the game that we have into for the next 3 years, but if you never add anything, like no matter how well you balance it, it's going to get stale.
No, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I guess what I'm trying to say is let's at least get it to a good place. It'll never be perfect. Of course, it'll never be perfect, but we're still trying to get everything to a good place. And hopefully this May update going into the summer is the case. We play through the summer. Everything's in a good place. Fall expansion comes out. Let's add some new shit into it, and then let's start all over again. I'd be fine with that. But
I'd be surprised if any of the new subclass or any new stuff like that comes before September.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes, I agree. I also think that it's important for people to realize that they have to try some stuff and fail, right?
Yeah.
And so the sandbox update right now needs to come more frequently.
Way more.
And we need to get them more frequently. So I think what they're looking at is September, we got May and then September. I'd like to see a whole new sandbox coming with the September. Right?
For sure.
I'm expecting it. So especially if mods 2.0 come out, that should change the sandbox. Right?
Agreed, but I like to say that we see something like I've enjoying using pulse rifles now. I'm enjoying using different guns. I think we should have that rotation through the seasons.
So that's what we went into Destiny 2 assuming, that every season was going to have shifts and changes. And we obviously did not get that. So I'm hoping that here's hoping for another time. Maybe in September, they actually start making good on that promise. We talk about every 3 months, a season, and a meta change. Because it needs it. The game really does need it.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
The next question was about, it's how did the Crucible team decide on random game modes instead of letting players choose what mode they want to play like we had in Destiny 1? And Kevin answers by saying, biggest driver of that conversation was trying to improve matchmaking times and connection quality. Additionally, it allows us to better supply certain moods. As you see in 1.1.4, we've reinforced those moods. Quick Play is now delivering the 4v4 low intensity that we intended. Competitive is now driving further 4v4 high intensity, and the biggest driver is connection quality and connection times. More people in the pool means more good connections.
I've had some real bad connections, not gonna lie. Quick Play.
Could it get best?
I would gladly wait a little bit longer to go into Control than sit there playing Clash for 7 games in a row, because it doesn't change.
Same.
If they rotated, if it went Clash, Supremacy, Control, Clash, Supremacy, Control, so I actually knew what I was getting, then I'd be a little bit more okay with it. But I can sit there and literally play Clash for 7-10 games in a row and be like, what am I gonna get a game mode on?
I mean, if they broke out the playlist into like Slayer game modes and objective game modes and instituted a lobby voting system, we would be fine, right?
We've had games that have lobby voting system, like Call of Duty. I remember, I think it was Black Ops 2 had it, and it was cool, but it also sucked because like community favorites would just get voted every time. So if you didn't like Nuketown, for instance, well, good luck to you because it's getting voted every time.
Right.
You know, so like a voting system is good and bad. I can tell you on the PC, if they broke it out into all the game modes they had in Destiny 1 on PC, there'd be like 2 people in each game mode, like waiting for queues.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the community is so small over there. I don't know how they fix this.
Well,
I mean, without just like getting more players in there.
Well, what's funny though is the idea is that let's funnel the playlist into a single population, or on both sides, competitive and quick play, in hopes of trying to get better connections and better game times and so on and so forth. And it also has caused the exact same player drop for Crucible. People don't want to play Clash all the time. People, you know, like it's created the exact same effect that they were trying to get away from, where people are not interested in playing those playlists anymore, in addition to lack of updates. So it's interesting. Like I understand the premise behind it, but at the end of the day, it's like these peer-to-peer connections are peer-to-peer. They're bad.
I got an idea. You can have the broken out playlist, but it requires you to plug a network cable into your console. You cannot have access if you're on Wi-Fi.
Thus cutting the population in half.
Go on.
You get a separate queue for Cat 5 users only. Wi-Fi, we got to separate. We got to segregate the Wi-Fi and the Cat 5.
The Wi-Fi and Cat 5. I like it. Put it on a shirt.
Now, what I didn't like about his answers, he goes on to say, in May, private matches are coming at any point when you want to get a game of Control together. You can do that. In terms of players asking to make Rumble permanent, we've absolutely heard that feedback. To be more specific, we've heard that. We understand that. And we're having conversations every day since the launch of 1.4 about that.
I don't like the answer because it's like, you want to play Control? Go make Control by yourself, and your imaginary friends can come join and play with you.
Yo, I got like 2 friends maximum.
We'll have free-for-all Control. I mean, that would be cool to do that, but we don't have the option to do that. So yeah, it's like, if there was like a server, well, not a service search because it's not dedicated service, but a game search where I could search for Control that someone started, then that would be amazing. I could search for a private match that someone set up that was Control.
That would be awesome.
But I can't do that. I just make Control and just, I mean, for us, it's okay because we stream and people can join. But for the average person who just wants to play some Control or some Clash, they're not gonna have enough people to make a lobby.
No.
And you want to play against random people, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to play against
You want it to rotate.
friends all the time.
You want it to like, get this team, then it breaks up, you get a new team, so on and so forth. It's like forcing you into one playlist that is randomly going to choose one of the 3 that you actually want to play. It's so counterproductive. It's like, how many times are you going to play a game mode that you're not interested in until eventually you're like, well, it's not showing up. I'm going to quit. I'm going to go play Fortnite.
Yeah, I mean,
Hope you're muted.
And it's a fundamental part of having fun playing PvP with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
If you're struggling as a group in Halo, we jumped into private matches to screw around for a minute, and then switched over to Slayer or objective game modes, kind of to freshen up the night. It feels stale when you're sitting there flipping over and you're getting maps you don't like and playlists you don't like.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
definitely.
I mean, I feel like I keep harping on this, but we need to have in PvP more control over what we want to play.
It's a big reason why I was not enjoying PvP. It was a big part of it. I mean, I wasn't enjoying the sandbox that much. I'm enjoying it a lot more now. But before, it's just like I'm sitting there. I want to play Control. Control is what I enjoy, and I'm playing that the least amount of time out of all the other modes. And then at some point, I'm like, I'm just not having fun because I don't enjoy this. I don't enjoy this mode.
And then you stop playing PvP.
And then you stop playing PvP
because you back out. And what option do you have right at that point? Right?
Exactly.
You're sitting there and you're like, there's too similar,
Yeah. So the intent to make the population bigger is actually making it smaller because of those.
Yes.
Right.
100% agree.
Yeah.
It's basically taking the approach from a different angle and saying, look, if we build it, they will come. We understand that creating these playlists right now with this low of a population is gonna suck. I believe that if you build it, a playlist and a PvP arena that players want to play, they will get populated again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, I can take it all the way back to the reveal event when they first showed us all this.
I remember that. And
I saw 4v4, and I don't mean to name drop or anything, but it's like I got to interview Noseworthy and I asked him about it, and I'm like, why are we doing this? Why are you taking away? Because like, again, bringing my son into it, the thing that we did in D1 all the time was doubles, 2v2 stuff, or we get a third person, we run 3v3 stuff. We'd love to do that. That was our sweet spot. Didn't matter what the mode was. Obviously, elimination was probably our favorite, but we didn't have that option in Destiny 2. We were forced to do 4v4 everything. Now, bringing Rumble back is a nice first step. They did the Crimson Double event. That's nice. But we're the permanent playlists that are allowing the different number of players and the different modes that we had in Destiny 1. That's something hopefully they get back to by the fall, because my son and I don't play PvP as much now because we don't have that anymore. And that was the thing that we did together. And of course, I can get with my buddies. We can do 6v6 Iron Banner, and I can go run trials or whatever. That's fine. But what about when I don't want the super sweaty match of trials? When I just want to do something casually with my son? That mode doesn't exist anymore, and that's what they need to bring back.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
It'd be great to have some, and we talk about this every week, but it'd be great to have that rotating playlist be something that the Crucible team designers get to be creative with and make some really interesting game modes.
They actually talked about that a little bit in the Q&A. They were saying that that's what they kind of wanted this to be, is they wanted to try out new modes and try out new stuff and see what people think about it. Like Rumble is a good example, right? Rumble came out, we're like, what is this? This is awful. I'm dying and spawning right behind the guy that just killed me. So they took that, and by the next time Rumble comes around, it's going to be 6 players, and the spawns are going to be a lot better.
Well, the only thing that I would like to see about that, Watts, is that there's a phase, like a player test realm sort of approach to it. So, yes, we got Rumble. They got player feedback from us, right? Yep. They're going to adjust it. Now make it a playlist.
That would be good. Yeah.
So take playlists that they're thinking about creating, adjust them, put them out there in that player test realm, that rotating playlist, get us in there jumping around, giving them some data, but then these meat and potato playlists should be there. They shouldn't be.
Absolutely.
Rumble in particular, it's such
a staple of FPS games.
You want to go in solo. You want to shoot everybody that's in the
I don't want to talk to people.
You.
I want to listen to music and shoot mans.
Yeah.
I don't want to be faced with a team of, a pre-made team of 4 every time I get into the Crucible.
That's one of the things that I loved about Call of Duty is that you could get into a team deathmatch playlist and everybody in there was guaranteed solo. Would not allow the mercenary. Yep. I love that, man. You knew for a fact you weren't going to go up against a squad.
It's talking about like having a ton of playlists and having low population. So in COD, they had a ton of playlists, and you could actually see the amount of people that were in that playlist at that time. So you'd be like, there's only 50 people playing this. Okay, I'll go play this other thing that has, 2,000 people in it. I'll check back later. So if you were having a tough time getting into a lobby that you wanted, you could just go play something else. You could come back to it. You had that option. I don't think not having the option there is the choice that we need to go for here. I think having it there, if we could have numbers showing us how many people are playing, that would be awesome, because then I could hover over it and be like, okay, there's, hardly any people playing Rumble. I'll go do something else. I'll check back later. I don't like not having the option at all.
Same. I don't know why they don't do that. In Halo Reach, they gave population numbers. It's like, why did they step away from that?
Call of Duty used to do it in older games too, and they stopped doing it.
They did stop doing it. Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
my favorite mode had like no one playing it in COD, like zero. But I waited in that line to play that mode because I loved it.
Yeah. Well, Watts, you could. The thing is, we can get that information, right? The people mine that information. They're not hiding anything. I mean, putting those numbers up aren't. It goes back to giving the players options and informed decision making. If connection and having a bunch of people to play with is super important to you, then pick a social playlist with a lot of people in it. Good. If you're willing to chance it and you want to try some more of the esoteric playlists, go in there and give it a shot. But you also know going in that there's a low population, so you might be connecting with somebody from, the future in Australia. It's just
the future.
That's just the way it's going to be.
True.
Okay.
Next question was, why can't the mobility stat increase sprint speed? I'm a hunter. I need to ninja. Hamrick says, our goal with 1.1.4 was to get back to more of the Destiny 1 style of movement, especially the movement you're working with mid-combat. Sprint speeds weren't changed for Destiny 2, therefore it wasn't crazy high priority to hit those. That being said, we called it the Go Fast update for a reason, and it was absolutely one of the potential changes to test with on our list. As we dug into making changes to it, we ran into some technical challenge that kept it from being possible to get up in time to test with. It's something we will continue to consider in the future, though. What I can tell you is we buffed standard movement quite a bit. Fun fact, any mobility value over 5 after 1.1.4 is faster than the max mobility base speed values in Destiny 1. We also returned increased air acceleration back to its Destiny 1 values as well.
I mean, that was some interesting info.
Yeah.
They're moving fast. If you're above 5 mobility, you're moving faster.
On the live stream, didn't he go into more info about like how it would actually break loading?
Yes,
like, so
yeah,
he did that on Twitter as well.
He did it on Twitter as well. So yeah,
this is the edited version of it.
Yeah.
So they had issues in testing of the load times that it would in a PvP match or in a PvE more.
It was PvE.
That they would be going too fast and it would break load times and the world generating in front of you.
I wonder if he's talking about something like we used to see a lot in Destiny 1 where you'd be loading between, like you'd be on a Sparrow and you kind of stop.
Oh, the stop?
While the game kind of loaded the next area.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is.
Probably.
If it's like that, I'd be willing to make that sacrifice.
Yeah, why not just stop midair? You're like, loading. Okay.
Can you imagine being in PvP and doing that? That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, in PvP.
I know it shouldn't happen in there because the map is a lot smaller. It should only be happening in PvE.
Yeah, in those big zones.
I would assume. Yeah.
But I have a hard time believing that, and I'm not saying that he's not being truthful. I have a hard time. I know.
Calling him out.
When we see the Dawnblade flying around the map like a freaking missile, I don't think anybody's talking about our sprint speed being faster than that.
No.
If we could all run that fast, that
like
would
really. Like, is anybody saying that we should be able to run into a wall and die?
The Titan Skate on PC now. Same thing. Like
right.
Oh my God, Titan skates with an Acreus. Oh,
Yeah,
I guess I'm just saying that I appreciate them saying that they tried to get it in but couldn't. But I also want to acknowledge that
the things exist in the game currently that already break those rules.
Faster.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you don't need to go as fast as a sparrow, right?
No.
Otherwise, there would be no need for sparrows, right? So there is a tiered approach to it.
well, what are you gonna buy from Eververse? There's no sparrows.
Good point.
Maybe Amanda Holiday has something to do with the world now. Who knows?
They talk about Derek Carroll had a little part where he's talking about Rumble. They are bringing Rumble back down to 6 players in the future and altering the spawning policy behind the scenes in an attempt to keep players more evenly spaced out. Changes are the first steps towards an even better player experience that we expect to drop when Season 3 begins. Iron Banner, the next Iron Banner will begin next week. That's going to be 6v6, so that'll be kind of a return to Destiny 1's Iron Banner. Control zones, you'll take them over faster if you have more than one person standing on them, and by standing on them or taking one over, you will get super energy.
Pretty cool.
So it's D1 control.
Yes.
Yeah.
D1 control. Hey, can we talk about Rumble for a second? Because that was I think a controversial decision, and I just want to hear your take on it. Last week,
controversial because I feel like so. I haven't heard the Destiny community in agreement on one thing like I have for 6-person Rumble. Like I've never heard the whole Destiny community go, yeah.
There are those people out there that they're always good.
They enjoyed 8-person Rumble.
This diverse. Yes, there are people that enjoyed it, and give me an F in chat if you enjoyed Rumble. So just give you an idea of how many
specifically.
Really did.
If you enjoyed 8-person Rumble, all right. Let's get an F.
Here's where here's what I'm talking about. I like that they changed to 6v6, and I would like more information on what they did with the spawns.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people with Fs.
I think I don't know.
Out of all the people here, it's like
it's 10. Science. It's science.
Like 10 people.
I'm seeing a lot of F no and FUs though, and those don't count.
To be fair to the people that do like the 5 people like 8, I think if the spawns were better, maybe it could work, but it was just chaos. Playing with 8 people, 6 just felt right. So I mean, this was a smart move for them to do.
Yep.
Okay.
And they're changing it when Rumble comes around next, which I do want to say I really like that because that's what we were all saying, right? This is kind of the test, one of the tests for Bungie of can you get this feedback and deal with that feedback quickly? And they're doing it when Rumble comes around next time in the playlist. So yeah. I'm really happy with that because we were all like, or is it going to take 6 months to change Rumble? So
that was our concern last week.
That's a question I got for you guys since I'm on here. This is my opportunity. So it's very clear these maps, the maps we have right now, they were designed for 4v4, right? So we'll see how 6v6, 6v6 Iron Banner works when that happens. But moving ahead, like even with this May DLC that's coming out and obviously the fall expansion, they have to start making bigger maps, right? If we're going to get away from this 4v4 and start expanding it, we got to start having maps that were more D1 size, right?
So I agree. Some of them for sure. Some of them are definitely smaller and then have the pains of all those players on there. But at the same time, the remakes play pretty similar with 4v4 right now versus how it felt with 6v6. And
Didn't they say they adjusted the size of the remake stuff?
Did they?
To bring it in a little bit for 4v4?
Okay.
Pretty sure they did when they released them. I think, Paris, I think that we'll get 6v6 next week, and we'll get a chance to try it out.
Yeah.
If the community loves 6v6,
Mm-hmm.
and it becomes a thing that resoundingly is a success, and yeah, I think you're right. Bungie needs to start designing some 6v6 maps, right?
You know what I was actually really hoping is, so when Iron Banner first came out, they released the remake of Shores of Time. I was hoping that with this Iron Banner and 6v6 coming out, we will get a remade D1 map.
That'd be cool.
Rusted Lands?
Bannerfall.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I love Rusted so much. I want Rusted to come.
Yeah.
I feel like that map should just come back.
Copy paste. Just copy paste the map.
And then you don't even have to change the way it looks. Just give it the exact same map.
Control V, just bring it over. We're good. No,
if it's Black Shield, I quit.
They're like, okay, so you
be
guys
nice.
want Sector back? Got it. Black Shield? Got it. Yeah, no, don't do
Spooky
that.
Trials? Yeah.
I just think that time to kill, in my opinion, really affects how those things play out. Because
Yeah.
if you can get shot a couple times and then run away with still half your health, then that's a different situation. Whereas in like D1, you were dealing with a lot more special, and you were dealing with 3-tap hand cannons and so on and so forth. So it was a lot more difficult to just run away from those situations. So with the time to kill adjustments, I don't know. I could see a lot of these maps actually working if the time to kill matched with being able to make engagements where you're essentially committing to that engagement. Somebody's going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, playing with the Vigilant Swing and playing against the Vigilant Swing, that time to kill is fast. Like you peek out and you overcommit to peeking out. Like you start running around a corner when you should have just like popped around and popped back in to see if anybody was staring at you. And you pay the price with that Vigilant Swing. You don't have time to turn around and go back.
I actually feel Vigilant Swing, that time to kill is in a pretty good spot because, like you said, if I peek, I can get away from that. I have enough time to run away or dodge out of the way or do something to stop from dying from it. But it's fast enough to where if you catch someone making a mistake, you're gonna kill them. They can't run away.
It's good that they're bringing other exotics up to it. I think that that's a good thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to talk about the summit?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So I kind of wanted to, if I can find it. Damn it, I lost it. Read a portion of the email that they sent out because the summit. Basically, what's happened is a lot of content creators and some people like who are Reddit moderators have been asked to come out to Bungie to what they're calling the Destiny Community Summit. And it is going to be a capture event. Capture events, Watts, you're probably the most familiar with here. You've gone to a lot of these before. You go out there, you get to play like a DLC early. You get some capture footage that you get to bring home and post on YouTube before the DLC comes out. It's beneficial to both parties. You get some, you get some views on your YouTube channel, and you build some hype for the next DLC. There's going to be that here, but there's also going to be the summit, a conversation between content creators and Bungie about the future of the game. And they're actually going to show off some stuff that they're working on for the future and kind of get a feel for what you think.
I tagged it in the Skype chat if you want to read it.
Yeah, I've got it up. So I'm gonna just read a little bit about this. Our goals for this summit are to build a better bridge between the people who make our games and the people who lead our community. You'll see new gameplay. You'll have a chance to capture some unrevealed content to release on your channels at a later date. However, the real value of this gathering will be the conversations with developers at Bungie. We want to show you what we're working on. We want your opinions on future releases that are yet to be locked. We want to show you our new plans and learn from you while we still have time to react to your feedback.
That's
I think
huge.
That is
right,
huge.
like that last part there.
They've never done that before. Like any capture event has been, it's just a publicity thing, right? Like you play the stuff early, you get the hype out there, you show some content, and they get to kind of do that and explain what the DLC is. We have never once had a situation where we are going to be giving feedback on stuff that they can actually change before it is released. And that's what they're saying. That's the first time they've ever said that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah. So I wouldn't expect, anything to be changed between the summit and the DLC. But going forward next week, Dee just said that we're going to see an updated roadmap for the summer and beyond. I would expect those changes to be reflected by the summit.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that the content creators, the people who are being invited to this kind of have a burden on their backs right now, is to really like step up their game, and have an understanding of, what works in this game, what doesn't work, and why. Be able to explain yourself. And explain like why one thing that you really like is fun and why something that you don't like isn't fun. And be able to actually like, have a conversation about it, not just be like, I want faster time to kill.
Yeah,
Why? Because it'll be faster.
Especially because at these events, like when you're capturing, a lot of the time you're going in there with the mindset of, I need good gameplay for this video. So you're just trying to use the weapon that feels the best. You're trying to use the stuff that feels the most comfortable. Whereas we really need to go into this as, I want to test everything that I possibly can, and I want to get some really solid ideas for feedback from playing this content. So it's going to be a total different approach to playing it.
Well, fortunately, we have 3 of members of the podcast are going, and so our community is going to be very well represented there. We're opening up a conversation on our Patreon Discord through and also on the Discord to generate conversations that will help to inform and influence us of what our community wants to see. And I think that what's valuable about the way that they approach this is that they didn't just invite content creators. They invited content creators from all different areas, but there's also, community leaders and the just committed like hardcore players. There's a wide variety of people that got invited. And what I'm hoping is that just like what we're doing, that everybody who's invited does this. They turn to their audience, their community, the people that they've built a following with, and talk to them and really get a sense of what they want. We're doing the same thing with our Patreon and our Discord, and we're starting those conversations. And I know Patrick Watts and I are hoping I can speak for myself. I feel a huge burden, huge. Like people are messaging me on Twitter saying, Pope, now our hopes are on you, right? There's a lot of pressure to do this. And I want to temper people's expectations. We represent a community and can share our views with Bungie, and we will do that as strongly as possible. But ultimately this is their game. Right?
Sure. But it's definitely a chance for you guys to tell them straight up what is and what is not working and why.
That's true.
And that and just to clarify, Holtz, Pope, and Watts, you guys are going to the summit. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
In-air accuracy.
In-air accuracy, right?
And if I could just throw my 2 cents into it. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But it's like you said, Pope, and it is a thing of where I can understand where you feel that responsibility going to this, because there are a lot of people out there in the community that are going to be watching everyone that goes to this, and they're going to expect some kind of result, some kind of feedback that you're giving Bungie. But at the same time, I think there's just as much pressure on Bungie, because what they are doing with this, and I've been talking to some of my friends saying, I would almost love to see this become an annual thing. And maybe not just the same people go every year, but they're rotating people in and out every year to get various amounts of feedback from the community. And like you said, I think, obviously I love all you guys. I love the content creators, because that's how I learned how to play the damn game over the years, right? But it's those people that aren't content creators that are going, I feel is even more important, because I think they're the ones that just play this game because they love to play the game. and they don't have any other stake in it other than they love to play it. And everyone's going to give their honest feedback, but they're going to give their honest feedback, and they're going to talk about the things that they love and the things that they don't like. And they don't necessarily have the huge platform that you guys have, but they can go on Reddit and go, hey, I was one of the people that went to the event. Here's what I think. And it becomes a more personal story for them. Yep. And the thing that I want out of this is, me being a fan of the game, is I want to make sure that Bungie is taking this feedback to heart. Like, if there's a kind of a consensus among the group that, hey man, this weapon slot thing ain't working, you need to try something else. I don't want to see it then come out 2 months later and now all of you guys are up in arms going, we told them they shouldn't have done this, but they did it anyways. And now the community is going to be even more upset. So it is a risk that they're doing this, but I applaud them for doing it, because it opens up that conversation. It makes this game more of a symbiotic relationship, I feel, between the developer and the community, where now the community, I feel, can have a stake in that. Yeah, we help make this game better. Mm-hmm. And that's going to promote more people to want to come back and to play it.
I really appreciate that, Paris, because I believe that you're articulating very well something that I was having a hard time say. There's a lot of people in the community right now that are going to be leaning on these community leaders to get their message across. What I'm hoping is to say to them that the narrative needs to be, let's help to articulate this and share with the community leaders. It shouldn't be this approach where if this angry approach, well, now if the game isn't fixed to what I like, you didn't do your job, right? We're going to do our best. I have a very passionate view of the game, and Watts does, and Patrick, everybody who's going does. And we all have our best intentions and our best, we're going to articulate those the best way we can.
Yeah.
But ultimately, what I'm trying to say is that we are going there to help improve the game and be a part of the process. And I'm just really thankful to be part of it. But it's got to be a positive experience. As a community, we got to look at it as a positive way of interacting with Bungie, and not and if we want to see more of these moving forward, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be great if this, it'd be wonderful if this is a huge success and they do it, before every, seasonal update or right after every seasonal update, and kind of just keep this running. My good friend Gary Diaz kind of linked me up to a Reddit post by Deep Fried Dave. I guess the Division did this not too long ago.
Yep.
About a year ago. And what they did is actually, like, they had a contest, basically, like, write into us, explain to us why you should be invited to this. And they actually, they had, 5 members of the community, not necessarily content creators, but just like people who were passionate about the game and could explain, why they should be invited. I thought that was really smart. And they did it like for 3 days, where they went through it bit by bit with community members, with content creators, and really like got a deep dive into, here's what works, here's what's not fun. They'd watch these people play, they'd talk about the future of the game, things that they were planning, and things that, we're still up in the air. Like, we're still kind of spitballing these ideas for the future. What do you think about it? I'm hoping Bungie has that kind of, because I'm a little worried about your timetable.
Yeah,
like, you got 2 days,
same.
but some of that time is going to be, just capture event for the next DLC. I'm a huge supporter of this idea. I hope you have enough time to do it.
I want them to do more of this. I want them to do this frequently, with getting creators from outside of Seattle and bringing them in and having them play stuff. But also, they have some of the most critical Destiny creators living 15 minutes away from their studio. Triple's here, Dado's here, Patrick's here, Mav's here, I'm here. Like, they could bring any of us into the studio anytime and be like, hey, we're thinking of this. What do you think? It wouldn't cost them a dime. They could drive there. Triple could go give his opinion on a PvP update that they're doing. Dado could go give an opinion on a PvE thing. Like, they can utilize people that live close, that are some of the most critical, fairly critical in the community. They give really good feedback.
And that's what I'm talking about, Briar. Is I want to temper people's approach to this, because the timing of it, I don't want to put put it down. I'm excited to go, but nothing is going to affect May.
Right.
No,
of course not.
Right.
May is done,
and it may not even affect September. I mean, it may be
if it doesn't affect September, something's fucked up.
Yeah, it's got to affect September. It has to.
In a lightweight way, in the sound box, maybe, right? But some of these issues that people are bringing
up, that's the fundamental problem with the development.
If you're at that summit and you're not talking about weapon slot changes with Bungie, and they're not talking to you about what they're planning, that's fucked up. The whole thing doesn't matter.
I'm telling you, look at their timetable for fixing stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say this coming from the more media side. So when E3 happens, whatever you guys see in April and whatever we play at E3, because whenever they show off this update, those type of they're better at least be talking about those changes. Maybe it's not ready at that time, but when they put a controller in our hand and say, hey, play the fall update, they should at least be saying, and with the feedback that we got from the community summit, here's some of the changes that we're thinking about doing. Because while you guys are going to be able to go, I'm sure there's NDAs, all that, you're not going to talk about everything that you see. When they hand that controller to a press person and Deej or whoever it is at E3 they're doing those interviews, they have to be on script and know what they're talking about. They can't still go, well, we haven't locked it down yet. They can at least say, well, this build that you're playing now, this change isn't in it, but here's what we're looking to do by the time it comes out in September. So whatever you guys influence, it's going to have to, within a month, it's going to have to affect whatever they're going to present at E3. So in that sense, this is, even though it's 2 days, it's going to be important, whatever kind of feedback that you give, because they're going to have to be.
I'm taking it very seriously, Paris. I mean, but
of course you are. Yeah,
I'm also in a position where I'm looking at this in what we know of Bungie. We have how many years of working with them?
Mm-hmm. But something has to change though, Pope. Like, I understand we're
not satisfied with whole Bungie.
Yeah, you're saying their development time is incredibly slow, and we all get that. But they have to cross. They have to hit some point where they realize that's not working, and they have to accept an accelerated form of development, because
they need to knock 50% of their development time off of what they've done before.
Poe, I'm not asking for them to redesign every level they've made and every strike they've made for the Taken Queen. What I'm saying is the feedback that you guys give about things that are changeable, like, weapon slot adjustments, like time to kill. Like, what are you guys going to say about random rolls, and what are you guys going to say about like end game loot,
sandbox stuff? I completely agree.
Like that's the stuff that needs to change. If you ask me, there's not a problem with content in Destiny. There's a problem with a reason to do content, right? The stuff, the maps for the Taken Queen, as far as I'm concerned, they're probably pretty much done, right? Like, I would imagine,
I think so.
Yeah.
Like Paris is saying, we're probably going to see some of that stuff at E3. But it's the investment system, it's the loot, it's the it's the long-term grind. It's the reason that we continue to play Destiny month after month. That it's not necessarily like the art is beautiful, but that's done.
Yeah.
Like, you guys aren't gonna have any input on that. You're not gonna have any input on the story. What you have input on is the gameplay, and that's the stuff that can change.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's talk. I want to have this conversation because it helps engage people with their expectations, and it helps engage people with what we're looking at. Maybe it's a lot of assumptions, but let's take, for example, mods 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What's the turnaround time of something substantial that involves adjustment of guns that you talked about, Briar, sandbox that you talked about, and the way people engage in the game? That's what you're talking about as a significant change for September.
I think it's a little bit more broader. It's in terms of like the actual investment. It's the reason you turn on the game and you say, what am I doing today? Whether it's in PvE or PvP. There has to be things in place, kind of like there were in D1, where there was a reason, there was a chase. Like, you went into heroic strikes because you might get a god roll, a Mago loop, like, or whatever particular one, Grass Malik, so on and so forth. Those things are gone in Destiny 2, and we need a lot of them. They need to put them all over the place in the game and allow us to have investment.
Black Spindle.
Black Spindle.
I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there and have the highest expectations for Bungie. I've always had, always. I'm also with a huge portion of the population. We've been working with Bungie for years now, and I don't, I feel like at a certain point we keep expecting them to produce this content and keep getting disappointed, right? And we get caught up in the hype. I can't believe I'm the one saying this shit. I honestly, no, you know what? Forget it. You know what? Everybody in chat is absolutely right. I am not the right person I'm not going to support. You know what? Fuck that. I am looking at this in clear eyes. Everybody is excited about this summit. Everybody's excited about. I'm excited to go and represent the community. Hell
Absolutely,
yeah,
you should be.
But I'm also not blind to the fact that we've been working with them for 3 years, and I don't think anything substantially has changed in their production and development time and things like that. Am I going to ask for the stuff that I want? Yes, right. But I think our role there is to take a look at what their roadmap is and give them feedback. But I honestly think the projection of some of these changes that we're asking for is past September. And I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I honestly hope I'm wrong. But,
no, you're probably right. You're probably right. Some of the things that whatever you get to see is probably the projected whatever they're going to get to by the fall, right?
Right.
If there's major changes that need to happen because of your feedback, you're
it's
also
not going to happen in
right.
4 months.
They're not going to happen. But
it's not going to happen in 4 months.
We have to get that feedback though.
But
feedback.
But now they've gotten the feedback in April instead of getting it in September, and the community screaming at them.
That's absolutely true.
And then they can now say, "Here's our updated roadmap." Mods 2.0 has been pushed out to November because it ain't going to be right in September. Whatever. At least now we know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's how I'm
tired of everybody getting caught up.
Instead of it being like 4 months after or 6 months after the DLC comes out and they're doing these big changes, they will know ahead of time, okay, we need to add more to this. This is something that we need to do. This isn't quite right.
Yep.
So maybe it happens a month after. Maybe it's a week.
Sure.
Maybe they have a day one pack that's ready to go out with it. Who knows what could happen. But I think the important thing is that you just have to go in with, why do you enjoy Destiny? What made you fall in love with Destiny? What made you keep playing Destiny? And figure that out in a way that we can really tell the developers in a way that makes sense. And like you said, not just say lower time to kill because it's fun.
Yeah.
Have a reason behind that. Why did you enjoy it? Why do you want that? And just be honest with the feedback.
Yeah. Also, I would expect them to show you guys what they've been thinking with the end game. So while you're saying you can't just go in and say, well, I need this end game changes. Like in order for this to work, I'm assuming that they've prepared some things because they know that the end game doesn't exist right now in Destiny 2. And just like Byron said, there is tons of things to do. There's tons of things to do in the world of Destiny 2, but none of them are relevant once you hit basically your max level power. Like the game's over at that point, unless you just want to go shoot people with Vigilant Swing. So they are going to show you some stuff that do relate to that progression, and you're gonna have to peel it back and think of it in terms of like a 3-month, 6-month type of play test. Are you going to be happy about those type of progression systems after the game's been out? However much,
I hear you.
Because I would be very surprised if they didn't show you anything. If they were like, guys, how do we put end game in here?
This game is so visually beautiful. Everything from the skyboxes to the PvP maps to the armor to everything is in visual detail, is gorgeous and high resolution. It's beautiful, right? That all takes time. So when we talk about a significant change to something, like for example, just the user interface to changing a gun. Everybody thinks that, oh, we'll just add an extra little circle there and it's no problem. We'll just add a circle to Uriel's gift or to pulse rifles. What I'm talking about is a realistic expectation that anytime we ask for significant changes, it's back to the drawing board. And that
I would hope in argument to this, I would hope that they have at least 1 or 2 ideas really far down development, and they're basically looking at you guys.
They're going to share them to us. They're going to share them with us, and they're going to say, "Hey, what do you think about what we?"
Like if they're just starting to work on this stuff, that's a deeper problem.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I mean, I think they've been working on it for a while, but it's like a battleship in the harbor, man. If they've been moving this ship in a direction that the community leaders at the summit say, man, that's really off the mark.
Yeah, that's what they need. You need to be their thermometer of being like, how hot or cold are you?
Say they go, oh my god, we didn't understand that we were that far off the mark. Wait a second, let's turn this battleship. Is it going to happen in 3 months, 4 months?
But you know what's really good about it, though, is we get to explain why it's so off the mark.
Sure.
So they need to understand. They don't need to know, oh, this is off the mark. They need to understand why it is and what is the kind of thing that we're looking for. Sure. So they can realign their design philosophy with what the community wants from their game.
I totally agree, Watts. I'm just saying that implementation of that feedback happens past September.
You guys want to do some Twitter questions?
Wait.
Yeah.
Right. Hold up. Before we talk about Twitter, there's one thing that I need to highlight. That is, the Nightfall reward was a ghost.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
It was a
you know what else was a ghost? Me, because I'm not doing a Nightfall for a ghost.
They delayed the Nightfall rewards a month. And we got a ghost this week.
So I've been thinking about this. So
how bad it is?
Ghost,
that's how bad I've been thinking about it.
Yeah. The ghost. So if this came out with D2, right? Strike specific rewards. There's a ghost. You'd be like, sweet, it looks cool. But because it was delayed and we only have quite a small amount of rewards for the strike specific loot, it just is real not great. They need to add more stuff to strike specific loot. We need class items. We need shaders. We need armor that looks like
suite.
the strike. We need weapons. We need
you're gonna stop this at the first part of that sentence.
Then
they need more stuff.
We need more stuff. If you could get that ghost along with a weapon in the strike, you'd be like,
it would be worth it. Yeah. What crushes me is they literally said powerful, meaningful loot that drops from the boss.
See, I don't know what you're talking about.
And they give us a ghost. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, it's a really nice ghost, though.
Is it?
I look good and I'm powerful.
It is. Oh man, unbelievable.
Oh, you're right. I wanted that sniper last week. I did that Nightfall tons of times to get that sniper, which I never got. So now I can't wait for that Nightfall to come back. That ghost, don't care. Not doing the Nightfall.
Unbelievable.
I want my flare mantles back. I want to
see the
ride
stats.
those flare mantles.
I want to see the stats from week to week.
Yeah,
right?
of how
all the people who did the
interested
Nightfall last
people
week
are
for the sniper compared to how many times the Nightfall was run this week for the ghost.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it, man. I was like,
a pretty big difference.
When I saw like the leaks of what was in the database, I was like, okay, maybe it's just because that's for this week and they're like prepping some stuff and we're gonna get maybe a little injection of a mini update or something like that. That's gonna happen. And then I saw it really was a ghost drop, and I was like, it's a troll, man. It's like literally Bungie trolling us, saying powerful loot. Sniper rifle's good in PvP, and now boom.
It looks like Pope's already been suggesting some changes.
Yeah, but I don't do anything. I don't do anything. I'm just a shield to this whole thing. So I'll tell you.
Don't get upset, man.
I'm good, man. I'm good. I've been at this game long enough to know that you're not going to please everybody. What we're doing
getting
is
pleased by a ghost, though?
Nobody.
Nobody's getting pleased by a ghost as a drop.
You guys don't understand what you don't understand what I'm saying. You're apply what we have learned with Nightfall, meaningful, powerful Nightfall rewards to what I just said, our previous conversation.
No, but they added this stuff. They added this stuff, though, as hey, we understand that the Nightfall loot is bad.
All right.
We need to give you something really powerful, and that the boss should drop something meaningful and powerful from it that's a rare drop. And this week, it's a freaking ghost that isn't even as good as one of the best Eververse ghosts.
I understand completely. I love it. I got it on my second drop, and
Do you actually like the ghost?
No.
Okay.
I was just trying to
give you an
fired up.
increased
I want to
drop
see
rate for the
how mad I
sniper.
can make people in chat. That's all.
No, you're the only one getting mad, actually.
No, I'm good.
This is
I'm good. I
more
wanna
of
keep
like
going.
a.
Let's go.
This is more of like a. We're not
This is why I
mad.
changed the subject, because everybody was just getting mad.
Yeah.
Nothing was getting done.
It's more of
No,
like
I wanna keep getting
it's not.
fired up.
It's we're not mad. We're just severely disappointed. That's all.
Yeah, I've had that conversation
Mom?
with my parents before.
Honestly,
I'm
like
No, I'm not
severely
angry at
disappointed
you.
in this drop. Let's be honest.
it's these kind of things where Bungie or someone in Bungie is like powerful, meaningful, unique. We're gonna push it back. These
Yeah,
boards are gonna
unique.
be awesome. You can't say that and then give us just a ghost. If this, like I said, if this went along with a hand cannon that dropped from the same strike, and you could get one or either, and you could grind the strike to get all of the stuff, or maybe if the hand cannon was a nightfall reward, but then the ghost was a heroic strike reward, like that would make more sense. But when you
Or
just
if
give
they
us
were
a
both
ghost
in
for the
loot
nightfall,
pool, yeah.
I mean, yeah, but just the ghost after you hype it up is they're not
It's
tempering
underwhelming.
our expectations very well.
Yeah,
Just like with the
it's
hype trailer for the sandbox changes, right? The sandbox is actually not that bad of a change, but you made a hype trailer for the sandbox change. You're hyping everyone up.
Ugh.
Maybe we don't do
Nobody
that.
does hype
crushes
like
me.
Bungie. They're masterclass at hype.
It crushes me so much because
and that goes back to my exact point. Let's temper our expectations. All right, guys.
Bungie
But
needs to
here's the
help us
thing.
do that.
Here's the thing, Pope. I've been tempering my expectations for 3 years. I'm expecting this franchise to be better than what it was when it began, and we're back on an ascension again of trying to get back to where we were at the end of year 3. And I love Destiny. I really want to see it flourish, but they got to stop making these choices. These are very bad choices for the community. Just like Briar said, you want to see the stats of how many people were trying to get that sniper rifle last week versus how many people are trying to get a ghost that's not even as good as some of the Eververse ghosts. Like it's going to be very disproportional.
I agree. I completely agree. I don't disagree with anything that you're saying. As a matter of fact, I don't even want to troll anybody listening anymore. I completely agree with you that this is underwhelming.
If we don't get
hands down
a Taken King style update in September,
Oh, it's got to be good.
Yeah,
It's got to be good.
It's got to be real good.
Mhm.
It's got to be amazing.
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
we're gonna get a chance to play it, and it's gonna be, or parts of it, look at it, right? I imagine.
I hope so.
And the feedback we're gonna give is gonna be heartfelt and sincere.
let's do some Twitter questions. We're going to start off. It's not going to go better from here.
I want it. Give it to me.
Do you want me to like reverse the Twitter questions so we
No.
just
Nah,
Just-
it's like a Band-Aid.
Let's
Just do it.
jump it. Let's keep
Yeah.
the
Let's
heat
do it.
going.
Let's get it.
Hey, can we take a break though before it and start to talk about something fun?
yeah,
Just before we get into it.
Oh,
So
Like fun things.
we
I like fun.
we have some cool things happening. First of all, we, as everyone knows, we got partnered on Twitch, and so Ash, our resident artist,
yeah.
created some amazing emotes. I was hoping that they would be active, but since we're a new channel, I guess
So I'm gonna show 'em right now.
They don't
process-
trust us to not put penises everywhere as well.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Guys,
going to be a quicker
we,
turnaround.
we heard you like emotes. We're listening and we're working.
We're
on
having
it. We're not ready
conversations
to
about the
promise
emotes.
yet.
Lots of conversations are being had about what types
Right.
of non-penis pick emotes are going up. Okay.
That's not true. Every emote we've submitted so far has a penis in it.
All right, I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna show 'em, right?
All right. Yes, right now we're going to show you. If you're not if you are
Oh my god.
listening to this on
They look so good.
on Podbean, you actually, Nick, probably cut this little piece out.
Pineapple on pizza looks so good. It's delicious. I love it.
We need to know Paris's thought on pineapple pizza.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with it.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, all
We
Because
are
right.
you're a man of
pineapple
culture.
Welcome to the family.
Because you got
We have
taste
another
buds.
question
That's
for
why.
you. Can you please tell us your favorite drink and snake?
Mm.
My favorite snake.
And drink.
And drink.
Oh, drink is easy. That's vodka tonic. Easy.
Mhm.
Snake. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's a good question. I'd say a Cobra, I guess, right? Something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
Vodka tonic and Cobra it is.
I
You
wouldn't
also
want to be
see
drunk
the
around a cobra.
bin foil hat up there, and
I just took it off the screen.
we've got Watts's clickety clack emote there, and of course the Bacon Baby.
Bacon Baby.
I really think she hit it out of the park with Bacon Baby.
Bacon Baby is so creepy. I can't wait to use
There's
it
also
everywhere.
dripping maple Bacon Baby.
So so tier 3
even
sub
worse.
gets access to a Bacon Baby that is dripping very creepily with maple syrup, and it's gross.
Mm-hmm.
So those will be going up in the next day or so. We really appreciate everybody who is subbed to the channel.
Things that
It's
horrify
been
me:
awesome.
maple covered Bacon Baby and just maple syrup all over my beard. That just, ugh.
Mhm.
Good God.
That is a horrifying thought.
Or honey.
Also,
Ugh.
the Baby Bird 3D Doritos is pretty fucking horrifying.
That is gross.
We
They're all Paris. These are
probably
all
have
sort
the
of
most
inside.
disgusting emotes.
These are like all sort of inside jokes that have
Right.
come up over the years. It's hilarious. The Bacon Baby creeps me out. I can't wait to see that in other chats. It's gonna be
Please
funny.
spam it everywhere you go, guys. So if you have an
Everywhere you go,
iPhone and you
the
have your
Bacon Baby.
your grandma also has an iPhone, you can send her Bacon Babies.
We want her to die an early death out of fright.
Followed by Mama
Oh,
Bird.
man. Amazing.
All right,
We also have
Raven.
some-
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's it. I was going to talk about our upcoming guests, but we'll do that later.
Okay. Raven 322 says for Paris, what's the one thing you want from the fall expansion? One thing. You can only pick one thing. What is it?
Oh my God, that is. You know what? Because I mentioned Spindle earlier. I want something. That's all I want. I want to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and instead of going to work, go to Destiny Reddit, and someone's on there going, "Oh my God, I just found this thing, and I think it leads to a new thing." Because I'll never forget that day. I sat at work all day, dying, waiting to get home so I could get Black Spindle. So I want that again. I want that community discovery of these new items in the game. They can bring that back. That'll make me very happy.
That's an amazing
Man,
answer. That was a great event.
The Outbreak Prime quest was just amazing.
Amazing.
I remember watching on Twitch because it was super late at night that people were trying to figure out how to open the thing, the room. Oh my goodness, watching that and seeing them open it was amazing.
What was incredible too is Bungie knew that it was an extremely deep puzzle that after I think it was like a week, they were like, okay, we have to release an ARG to give people a clue. So the ARG came out, and then people started, patching together the images to then see the canisters that had to be stepped on to activate it. And that then launched the rest of the experience. So it was like, that stuff, where's that stuff? We need
You
it.
need that.
That was amazing.
Mhm.
Outbreak Prime was amazing. Amazing.
Taken King was, there was like a good 5 months after the Taken King where I was literally waking up, like Paris said, and checking Reddit every day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, all right, what did people find today? Magic says, we know that Bungie is inviting streamers for feedback on potential changes. Is Bungie missing something, though, if they do not invite some of those who have been making constructive D2 comments on both BNet and Reddit that are not streamers? They exist, and Bungie should know who.
It's kind of like what we said before, right? If Bungie could hold a thing where you could write a detailed email or whatever board discussion about what changes you'd like to see and give detailed feedback, and then some of the best feedback that they see that's really well written and well constructed, they invite those people to the actual event. That would be awesome.
That would be.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
great.
I did hear that they invited 2 Reddit mods.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fuzzle's going.
Yeah. Which, frankly, those guys could use a vacation.
Yeah. I think
they are inviting some non-streamers. They definitely are.
Yeah.
A community survey would be awesome. Like, they have our email, right? They email us about stuff. Put out an email and be like, we're thinking of doing this. What do you think?
Yeah.
Utilize the email.
That
Let us
sounds
answer
really
questions.
smart.
Chris Lenan says, all last week, a common theme would be that we are not getting content quick enough. would it benefit Bungie to supplement the game with old Destiny 1 content in between patches? We already have more than half the weapons. Wouldn't mind getting the Plague Lands again for free.
Just keep giving me D1 maps. Just give them to me. Give it to me.
I honestly think I think they need to tap into D1 content as free updates continuously, like monthly.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? Like new weapons.
More stuff.
Release some of those. There's PvP maps. I mean, they basically have started to do that, remakes of those PvP maps. But they got all that content. They might as well leverage it.
Yeah.
Briar, you don't look interested in that content.
I don't know how they do that. Like, I don't understand how that works, because like you can't just copy and paste it into Destiny 2, right? You got to do like new quest designs. You got to have, like, it's got to feel like Destiny 2, right? There's got to be, lost sectors in there. There's got to be like new enemy emplacements. There's got to be a reason to go there, right? You're not just gonna go wander around.
Oh no, for sure. But
so like,
here's my problem is that I look at Bungie and I know that they've got 800 plus people working there, and I'm like, you can't have like 5 people port some of that stuff over. Like that's not possible. You can't have a team that's working on porting some of it for monthly content out of 800. Is everybody all working on D3 with a couple of them being pulled away to work on some D2 updates from time to time? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just don't know. I wouldn't be upset if they added Destiny 1
for free
lands back to
obviously.
Destiny 2. Right? Oh, if it came in a DLC, fuck you. I'm out.
No. Nobody's rebuying D1 in D2.
No.
That would be a serious burnt bridge right there.
Yeah. I don't know. Real Good Murph says the chat during the Bungie stream was the worst chat room I've ever seen. Well, you didn't watch the last stream? People were being so negative, and the phrase dead game was typed every other second. I remember D1's issues, but the positive community I loved is just gone. Thoughts?
I disagree. I disagree in the sense that I think you have a lot of passionate people that are upset right now, and that's why you see some of the toxic things. But I'll go back to that May reveal. We're all there. I mean, it was like 500 of your best friends. I was at PAX Prime right when they launched D2 and went to the Paramount Theater and just saw all those people in there. You can't tell me those people, they might be mad at the game right now, but they don't still love the game. Mm-hmm. And I think once Destiny 2 gets back to a point where it'll never be perfect, but it gets back to a point where, like you said, the end game, there's things to do and people can start being happy again. They'll come back. You'll see the Reddit change. I mean, the Reddit's Reddit. There's always going to be grumpy people in there, but I think those core, let me backtrack. The whole reason I love Destiny and why I've stuck around for 4 years now or however long it's been is because of the community, Guardian Con, etc. I mean, just add up the list. There's so many amazing people in here. I mean, hell, Pope, I'm here right now because I met Pope years ago, and we made a connection. I don't take that for granted. I just think people are mad right now, but people will come back. It'll come back.
Yep.
Mr. Goodbye says, if Bungie were to ask you which of the 9 subclasses should be thrown out entirely and recreated from scratch, which one would you pick?
Oof.
Which subclass do
if I had to choose one of the subclasses to completely redo?
You're throwing it out entirely and recreating it from scratch, so you can go anywhere you want with it.
Recreating from scratch.
I mean, I would vote for any warlocks, but then they could just not come back to it. They would just delete it. It just wouldn't come back into
and just make another Titan.
Yeah, they just delete one of the warlocks and then just add an additional Titan class.
Honestly, I think I'd go with Gunslinger. I think that class is in a little bit of a weird state. Yeah. Like, for example, if you're playing Trials with a Gunslinger, instead of popping it aggressively and running in there and being able to do that without the radar, you can't actually do that now. The neutral game is, I don't know. I feel like Gunslinger is in a bit of a weird spot with the current sandbox. So I think it could be. It's one of the oldest ones, right? It's like
Yeah,
it doesn't feel as good as it did in Destiny 1.
Right, it hasn't changed much since D1 either. It doesn't feel like they've kind of brought it forward with the times. So yeah, I think they could do some cool stuff with Gunslinger.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah,
like complete. Yeah, but you're talking about completely get rid of Gunslinger, and so it's something else.
Well, no, we're redoing it.
Yeah,
right? We're
but would you redo it
and then
with Gunslinger in mind?
Gunslinger. I think so. Yeah. Like being a precision hunter class, I think is great because you have the Night Stalker that's all about manipulation. You have Arcstrider that's like very punchy and get in there. I think having a class that's about precision is good, but I think they could do some stuff to bring it forward in D2.
The Gunslinger just isn't as fun as it was. There's a bunch of reasons for it. Throwing knife sucks. The golden gun isn't as much fun.
Dude, it's the timer, man.
The timer sucks. I mean, the throwing knife was, to me, more fun than the actual super in Destiny 1. Like, I love that throwing knife. It was the reason I played Gunslingers, because, I ran out of ammo? Boop! Fuck you.
Or what Patrick did, right? Shooting people with the hand cannon, throw the knife.
Yeah.
And then they nerfed that.
They took it out.
The knife. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it just... I think Watson's got the right idea here.
Yeah, it's weird. I like Gunslinger, but you guys are right. Destiny 2's Gunslinger is it's in the trash can at the moment. I guess if we could redo it, it'd be pretty cool. It'd be interesting about Gunslinger is if it actually took whatever gun you were using and that was the super that it applied it to. So it actually applied super mechanics to the gun.
Made your gun like awesome.
Yeah, like if you're using a shotgun or auto rifle, yeah, exactly. And it was like the magazine, it became super shots in there, and like your gun was glowing, and people know like, oh, he's got a glowing auto rifle.
Shotgun would just be like the accurate.
He's golden.
But wouldn't that be awesome though if you pulled out a shotgun and you could suddenly apply golden gun to it, and it was just like doubled the range or something?
The Acurus.
No, let's say you have the Acurus and you pop golden gun,
my God.
and it doubles that range.
That's
I
called
like
a sniper rifle, literally.
Well, it's like instead of how Sunsinger was, where you had empowered grenades and abilities, Gunslinger would have empowered gun because they're all about their weapon. They're all about their precision.
Yeah, no, I like the idea of a precision hunter. Yeah,
I like it.
Mm-hmm. Calico Jack says, "Are any of you going to the community summit?" We already talked about it. I'm gonna skip it. I'm sorry. Ozez says, what could be some ways to improve the population on PC? Or are games like Fortnite, PUBG, and others far more attractive right now than Destiny 2 on PC?
Lots and lots of changes. And conversations. Lots of conversations.
Mm-hmm. And I think they're starting on that. They're going the right direction.
Maybe if they gave you like $5 every game you completed in the Crucible.
Wow.
I think
maybe if I get farm Bitcoin in the Crucible.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Half my GPU goes to actually running the Crucible, and the other half goes to farming Bitcoin.
Destiny still it has its own unique space in gaming. But they have to really dial in on what makes it unique. People want more of those RPG elements. FPS, RPG, put them together. People want to delve into that. They want something to sink their teeth into. Or they want to, it's a very shallow experience. And when you're on PC, if you're looking for RPG or something that's deep, you have so many choices. You're looking for a competitive shooter, you have so many choices. They need to dial in on what made Destiny fun and understand what that is.
And I've said it many times in the podcast, Triple saying it in chat, there's nothing out there right now that competes with Destiny. And that's actually the issue as well for Bungie, is that they can take this amount of time to make changes because there is no competition. You could say Warframe, you could say Division, so on and so forth, but there's no first-person looter shooter out there right now that does what Destiny does. And that's why we feel like addicts, where we're just, come on, I need my stuff, but it's not there. Instead, I got a Ghost from the Nightfall. Like they if there is something that comes out that competes with it directly, then they're going to have a different situation on their hands. But that's why. That's why we have these feelings right now about the game.
We want more RPG. We want the grind. Like we said about, all of these quests that we had the Sleeper Simulant quest. We had Black Spindle popping up. Like, those things are cool. I want more discovery, more mystery, more community getting together and getting excited about something. I want all that stuff.
Exactly.
I want to be able to
Yep.
spec my character. I want to be hunting for those mods 2.0
Yep.
and have it really impact how I play the game.
Yep.
Delve into the RPG, please.
Exactly.
Odds says, what could be some ways to improve? I just read that. Sorry. Prakash J says, what aspect of Destiny do you all, Destiny and DCP and Paris, love the most? The gunplay, the looter aspect, the lore, the characters. What do you like? What's the best part for you? For me, it's the gunplay. Like no other game feels like a Bungie game, man. Like Borderlands gives you like the loot, but it doesn't feel the same. Like shooting a gun, like it's entertaining because you never know. Like when you pick up a new gun in Borderlands, you never know what the fuck that thing is gonna do, right? Like some wild shit is gonna come flying out, shooting like bees at somebody. But it doesn't feel like Destiny. It doesn't have that feel, right? And there's no other game that you could combine, you know, going out and exploring and finding that gun and then go into the Crucible and shoot your best friend with it. You know, it just feels so good and visceral. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would agree because that's the one thing you can count on Bungie, just going back to the Halo days, is the gunplay. They've always been the best at the business when it comes to the gunplay in first-person shooters. So, I mean, that's been the one constant, you know, love or hate Destiny that we've always had. I guess if I could expand on it, going beyond just individual features, it would be the raid for me, because one of the big things that I love about Destiny is the fact that it is forcing 6 people to work together and communicate to clear an objective, which I think is one of the hardest things to do in gaming. And, you know, the fact that they don't have matchmaking for it is a testament to that, because try and just get 5 random people together and like, hey, let's go raid. It's like herding freaking cats. There's no way you're going to complete that stuff. You have to have some level of communication to get those things done.
You know, Barris, I wonder if that, going back to our last question, I wonder if that's one of the reasons it didn't catch on as big on PC, is because for a console player, raid was unheard of territory, right? It was uncharted for a console player. But PC players have been playing, you know, 50-person raids for 15 years.
Yeah,
exactly.
I wonder if there's like a disconnect.
Nah, I don't think so, because there wasn't the Vex Mythoclast or the Fatebringer style drops in there. There's Midnight Coup, and there's also Legend Acrius, but they do not have the same type of response when they drop. When you had the Vex Mythoclast drop from Atheon on hard, that was oh my god,
scream at the top of your lungs. But Midnight Coup is marginally better than some other guns in its class.
Exactly. Midnight Coup is good in the current sandbox, but in terms of the Destiny experience, there's better guns out there, and that's why I think that's why a lot of people in on PC were kind of like, okay, well, why am I going to grind that? Where's the grind?
Well, you actually bring up a good point about something. That's another thing that magic that needs to come back to Destiny 2 is that instant gratification of that loot drop. Like, I still remember the day that I got Gallowhorn. It was a legendary drop off of a strike, and I just went to the Cryptarch. Oh, just go turn this in. I turned it in, and it was freaking Gallowhorn, and I'm running around the room in circles screaming, oh my god, I got Gallowhorn. I don't have that feeling anymore in Destiny 2.
Exactly. And you can get all the guns now from a vendor or your clan engram.
Right.
Right. Okay. You just reduced all the loot right there.
Yes.
Oh, I was going to say for me, gunplay for sure. The Bungie nails gunplay 100%. That's why I can come back to it today and play. I could play it tonight and still have a good time because the gunplay has that experience. So, yeah.
Doughboy says, so Bungie confirmed they're looking at weapon slots. What do you want to happen? What do you want to happen? Individually, what do you want to happen with the weapon slots?
I've gone over this a bunch of times, but I think that I want them to get creative and be more, have energy slots be more interesting, and make primaries a little more powerful, and take those, give us more options to move some of those heavy weapons that are in that heavy slot and bring them to the energy slot.
I know a lot of people are torn on this, but there's aspects that I do like of the double primary. So I personally wouldn't mind if they did adopt a fourth weapon slot where rockets or things that go kaboom go into that heavy power type of thing. And even actually some exceptions like Acreus would stay in there as well. So you could have like a weird double shotty type of loadout as well if you wanted. But I think in order to maintain the good parts of the current weapon system, because I know some people are going to be like, it's 100% wrong. You need to drop kick it immediately. I don't necessarily fully believe that. I feel like the double primary is interesting because it's interesting having an SMG and also a scout, or an SMG and a hand cannon, and then also having like a shotty or a sniper, and then your rockets as well. Because the rockets are like they're your boss moments or your just in case moments type of thing. Mm-hmm. And so I think it would be interesting. Also, it works in Borderlands as well. And I know a lot of people are very split on this. Some people think 4 is way too many, and that's actually crazy talk. And other people think, like myself, that it could actually be an interesting shift in the universe. Because like I said, I think the energy slot for primaries and kinetics is actually interesting. It's just we don't have Outbreak Prime and Genesis Chain and so on and so forth in the game right now to allow us to feel powerful with those weapons.
Question on that. If we were to go to a fourth slot, do we also go to a fourth ammo brick?
I think they would have to add another ammo brick. Yes.
Yeah,
yep.
I would think so.
And it would be an explosives ammo brick.
I mean, I'd like to see something along those lines. I mean, like we said previously, I don't want them to just go back to Destiny 1 and just make it that. Let's do something different. It shouldn't stay what it is today, but it needs to be a hybrid of both, I think. And maybe, like you're saying, maybe it is that fourth slot. I'd be willing to give it a try for sure.
You know what I like about the fourth slot too is I'm a supporter of the fourth slot too. Is that it's additive, not subtractive. So it's giving us more options, not less options. If they do it, like, it seems like a relatively simple way to do it, right? Is you're basically just splitting up the power ammo as it is now and giving us like a button combo. Poop's laughing over there. I don't mean programmingly simple. I'm talking gameplay simple. You give us just a button combination where you press the button, press Y once, and it switches between your primaries. Double tap it to switch over to, like something like a sniper or a shotgun, and hold it down to switch to your power weapon. It keeps you using a submachine gun and a hand cannon, or your primary loadout is. It gives you more power in PvE. It gives you more options in PvP, but it also allows them to control the ammo in PvP. I don't know, man. The fourth slot, it's not a perfect system, but I like it.
It's not Destiny 1, but just like you said, it does. Just imagine being able to, you're hitting hand cannon shots. Let's say for PvE, you're hitting hand cannon shots in the raid. You're getting a major rushing you. You switch to your SMG. You mow off the shield with the SMG. Then you switch to a shotgun because you happen to have a shotgun equipped. You take down take down that major, and then you switch back to your hand cannon. You get some shots, and then like some major target comes out. You switch to your rockets, unload a couple shells of rockets, and then back to SMG for some like close quarter type of stuff. I think in like PvE, it actually could be really interesting having those options. Or you could have just like hand cannon, SMG, sniper, and grenade launcher, or rockets. It would be rockets. Let's be honest. Everybody's going to use rockets.
Yeah, it's going to be rockets. That's one of the problems there is now. It's the answer is rockets. I was watching Dado did a video. It was either today or yesterday about now that linear fusions have been buffed and snipers have been buffed, what should I be using to do the max damage in the raid? Guess what the answer is?
Rockets.
Rockets. All right, next question, I guess.
Heavy machine guns, by the way. Heavy machine guns could come back in one of those slots.
Yeah. Steven Wolven says, I think D2 would be perfect time to get dark and gritty with the series and go for an M rating. What are your thoughts. Also, do you like regular Briar or drunk pirate Briar better? Love the podcast.
Oh, drunk pirate Briar, definitely.
Yeah, drunk pirate's pretty good.
Yeah. Regular Briar's kind of an asshole.
I agree.
I don't think there's ever a chance that they're really going to get like M-rated with Destiny. Like, just like, this is a mass market game. Like, I know a lot of people would like to see it, but I just don't see it happening.
I want to see Shax just come into the picture and he's just cursing, popping heads off, blood everywhere.
Where the hell are your pants, Shax?
I don't need them anymore. We M-rated, baby. Yeah.
When did this turn into Conan? What the fuck is
I don't
going on
think they
here?
need to be M-rated to go like darker, right? They can go down a dark, mysterious space magic-y path without being M-rated.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, I don't think they need to explore even more or put blood and guts and so on and so forth in the game. I don't think it would add to the experience if I saw like a Dreg have his arm ripped off and then like a bunch of blood is squirting everywhere and then like you decapitate him with your sword or something like that. Like that does actually sound pretty appealing, but I don't think it needs to be in the game in Destiny specifically.
There's other games for that too.
Yeah.
I mean, like Doom would be a perfect example of a game that just nails that kind of aesthetic.
Exactly.
It's super fun.
I like that I can play it with my son and I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
And
also,
that's what I was
headshots in
gonna say.
Destiny are super satisfying with the way it goes.
Yeah.
Skull Heezy says, "What are your top 3 snipers to currently play with?"
The Achin. The blue sniper.
Yeah.
I mean,
like
the new monarchy
Maxim.
one? Maxim, yep.
Maxim is really good.
Maxim is good.
What is the one? It's like Yedena or Edin. It's a higher impact one that has quick draw on it. It's a Hake model.
Yeah.
I can never remember the name of it though.
I
I
use
haven't
a
tried
sniper
the new one from the
Borealis. It's good.
I haven't tried the new one from the Nightfall yet because I haven't gotten it, but I heard it's fantastic. Valletta, thank you, chat.
I haven't really used a lot of snipers, honestly. Like, if I'm playing PvP and the Accurus is loaded, I could try to get good, which I should try to get good. But at the same time, I've got 4 really easy shots right there. I just point and I click in a general area. And most of the time it connects and deletes somebody out of the game. Yeah. And if I'm rocking Devour, it's even better. So...
I don't use snipers very often, so
no. Matthew E. Meyer says, "What are your thoughts on Bungie making Time to Kill lower for exotics but not legendary?"
I think they need to all around.
Yeah, I agree with Watts.
I would agree.
Andrew Benson says, "Borderlands 3 gets released this year and Destiny 2 continues to flop on their promises. Will any of you jump ship and switch to Borderlands 3? Love the show."
Assuming Borderlands 3 comes out this year?
Yeah, which is a lot to assume.
I am going to play the crap out of Borderlands 3. Like,
there's no future that I can foresee that I do not play Borderlands 3.
I built a brand new PC in 2012 specifically for Borderlands 2 when it came out. I put the top graphics card, everything. I was diehard into Borderlands 2 when it came out. And when Borderlands 3 comes out, there is going to be a considerable time investment that happens for me in that game, in that universe. Unless it's bad.
I'll play it a lot. Destiny, like we said, right? What keeps us with Destiny? The gunplay.
Yeah.
Like, that is still going to draw me to Destiny. I still remember playing the alpha and the beta and just being so in love with the gunplay and just the gameplay of PvP. And if we can get back to how fun that was, I'm not gonna be able to get that from anywhere else.
Yeah, it's true.
Sam asks, "Did Holtzman cheat at Golf It?"
Yes. 100%.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
Holland Love says, "Please explain why you guys don't have either Dollar Shave Club or some beard oil as a sponsor." It's
I don't know.
Watts. She cracks the whip on us. She won't let us do it. We're all very scared of her and intimidated.
Yes,
Please
I
send
am
help.
intimidating.
Well, I think
very
Watts turned it down, actually. She got the sponsorship, and she was like, no.
They
sorry,
offered
guys.
it to me.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
What am I going to do with this? Florida Gator 95 said, "Would you rather Destiny stay in its current state forever, or be forced to eat every item on Taco Bell's menu?"
Oh God.
Oh.
Just one day?
Oh,
like in
boy.
one
That's
sitting,
rough for me.
or like can I like take my time with this? Because I
might want to
like,
do it in one sitting. Honestly, just get it all over with. Get it all.
Oh God.
Get it all in.
That
Get it
could
all
kill
out.
you. That might actually kill you.
I don't think I could eat. I don't think I physically could eat.
I mean,
How
I would
committed
suffer
are
a
you
lot.
to Destiny, Pope? Come on, man. We are counting
Obviously-
on
You
you
gotta
here.
do it. You gotta do it.
Obviously, I'm not committed enough, to represent the community.
If I could eat Taco Bell, like everything on Taco Bell, and Destiny 2 is the best game ever created, the best version of Destiny ever. Gotta do it. You have to. You have to.
What? So I'm gluten free. Does that mean I get like a freebie?
I mean, I'm vegan. Like,
Do they have a gluten-free menu?
I brought it up first, Watts. Huh?
We just gotta do it.
I am
Tefty.
suddenly
You're gonna
feeling
have to
very
be really
gluten-free.
sick. It's gonna be fine.
I'm actually gluten free. It makes me sick. Come on. All right,
Yep,
I'll
eating it
get
makes me
sick
too.
for the well-being. Absolutely, I will. If it's one day, and I have to essentially make a whole week or a couple weeks feel awful, that's fine. We'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get this man an invite.
Yeah.
Budgie.
In this ridiculous thing, I think, in this ridiculous idea, yes, I would eat all the Taco Bell menu just for the community to support them.
There you go. Also, those
Yeah.
nacho cheesy fries not gluten free because they batter them in wheat.
Fuck.
Wait,
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not eating nacho cheesy.
does
fries.
the Taco Bell
Sorry,
that we are
Destiny.
shopping
Not
at,
happening.
does it have Baja Blast in its?
I think you have to
Available.
drink Baja Blast in between each bite.
I might just do it. I might just do it even without the thing. I will go and I'll let you know how it goes.
I'm sorry. Nacho cheese and fries do not mix. I'm sorry. It's not happening.
I heard it's delicious.
You were wrong. You're hanging
Nacho
around with
cheese
the
and
wrong
fries?
kind of people.
Oh, no. Steak fries and cheese, so good.
Zachary Richardson says, "Hey crew, we know that Disney owns 33% of the media. My question is, if you did work for them, what would you like to be a part of? Voice acting, apparel, roller coaster design? Love the podcast. Keep it up." Okay, so the question is basically, if you worked for Disney, what would you do? I used to work for Disney, actually, in a way, because I used to belong to Maker Studio, or I used to be partnered with Maker Studio, so my checks came from Disney for YouTube money.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But they dropped me.
Friggin' Disney, man.
I would be every Disney princess ever.
Taking the whole
The rest
set.
of the time, all the princesses you watch, it's gonna be me.
Nice.
Yep.
I don't know, man.
I would like that to
Tefty,
also
you know
be
it's a
Pope's
Costa
answer.
designer. You know you're gonna be a Costa designer.
That sounds fantastic. I didn't think
You
about
could
that.
make Pooh Beach in real life.
Oh my god, I would totally design coasters. Yes.
You live stream it still, but you'd be doing it in real life.
There you
That'd be
go.
great.
Still be a streamer, but real life
Love
Costa
it.
design.
Thank you for my answer. I honestly didn't know. It was great.
Paris, what would you do at Disney?
It would have to be something Marvel related. Somehow I'm involved in the production of the Marvel. I don't know exactly, but something. So I had already know how Infinity War ends. That's all I care about.
Just like a script reader for errors.
You'd be head.
Like a
You'd be head of spoilers. Is what you're saying.
Yeah,
VP of
spoiler
spoilers.
department.
Got it.
I'd like to work at the their digital animation studios, and working with the production of the cartoons. I've always been fascinated by them, like since I was little. The frames and drawing ones, and now the digital ones.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Everything about those. Just I'm in awe of how their talent and abilities.
I believe it's called anime.
Anime.
Anime. Wow.
Kaoki says, "What's the most random, annoying tick or feeling that you have that shouldn't irritate you, but it does?" His is washing his hands when he's wearing long sleeves and the water gets on his forearm.
Oh, that is annoying. Or get if you
That's
put
pretty
socks
bad.
on and there happens to be some water in the bathroom floor and you step on it. Ugh,
No, it's worse when you're walking around the house and somebody like tracked in water.
that's bad.
So it's just like random. It's not even like a place you should be looking to avoid it. Just some motherfucker didn't wipe their boots when they walked in the house, and now you got to pay the price.
Soaked sock.
All right.
This is unbelievable.
I am probably upset more than the average person should when the toilet paper roll is rolled the wrong way.
Oh, that's unforgivable crime. Only
That
the
just
most
kills me.
rotten of people would leave
is right there.
You are just a bad person. If you leave an empty roll of toilet paper after you
Yep.
leave the bathroom, you're a bad person. You're just bad.
I bring everybody. I have an immediate family meeting while I'm still on the toilet.
Yes.
I call everybody in
Yes.
to get to the bottom of what happened.
Oh man.
Yes.
Yes.
It's serious business. I mean, there's somebody sleeping outside.
Good. Forever. Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody like runs into the bathroom and then goes, "Wait, let's make sure this is all put together." No, you're gonna do your business first, and then if it's empty, yeah, that is evil. Yeah.
It's evil.
Pretty evil.
Yep.
That is evil.
Mine is simple. It's when my kids, instead of just reusing the same cup, they have like 10,000 cups like sitting out on the counter. It's like, just use one. Drives me insane.
Yeah.
You think, I think I'm having trouble finding one because I'm the person that causes all of the problems. My desk is messy. I don't throw anything away. I don't clean up after myself. I'll take the lid off of my Coke and leave it on the counter. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
another
you can
one.
ask Tomo and it'll be just me. All of his answers would be all stuff that I do that is lazy. Yeah. I drink out of the carton and stuff.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't think. The one I think that drives me the most crazy, the one Pope already said, man, that is a fucking unforgivable crime against humanity. Like, you got to be a real dirtbag. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
I don't do that, at least.
Good. Good.
You're good. Saved.
All right. 2 more left for the night, and then we can all go to bed and be happy. Ringo the Dingo says, if the DCP crew went on a round-the-world trip together, where would everybody want their one stop to be? So everybody gets to choose one stop. Where's your stop? And Paris, you gotta answer for this too. So you're gonna go on a trip with us. Everybody gets to choose one stop.
Okay.
Where's your stop?
Yeah.
Who's starting the journey?
Yeah. Oh, I am. Okay. Well, of course I would stop in Paris, right?
Nice.
The city named after
Okay.
you. Right?
Nice.
I love it.
Sounds like a
I
good
love
trip
it.
already. All right.
I've never been. That sounds great.
All right. We're gonna need to stop in somewhere in Australia to visit the other half of this podcast.
Good. Yeah.
That's
Put
terrifying.
me in a bubble first.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna die out there.
I
No,
know.
we're gonna
I
go.
definitely need a
We're gonna
bubble suit.
gather everybody in Australia, and we're gonna go. We're gonna go deep. We're gonna go scuba diving on the Great Barrier Reef as a
Huh.
extended family
Wow.
for like a week.
So we're gonna get eaten by sharks.
I think
Yes,
Awesome.
and
My
one of us
stop-
will have to. Yep, go.
my
We'll
stop
go
is
to
going to be
Outback.
Patrick's house, and
Oh,
we're
thanks.
all going to be house guests for a week.
Oh Jesus!
I think he'd love it.
Yeah. That sounds awesome.
I don't know if I could handle Patrick for a week.
I'd say after
You
we're
know
done.
that guy walks around without his underwear on. Like he walks around naked, and he's not going to change anything he does at all.
Actually, this may be more a punishment for us. I was imagining it being torture for Patrick, but actually, now that I really think about it,
I'm gonna double down in Seattle, and then after we're done at Patrick's place, we're gonna go right over to Dado's place. Okay.
Which is
All right.
also
Yeah.
Triple's place. So we're just
Perfect.
crashing everybody.
all
It's
right.
great.
Crashing.
Yep.
Sounds good.
We have to go to Japan. I have to show you guys my life. We're going to go to an idol concert. We're going to go to an anime character concert. We're going to go play
They're
arcade
called
games.
cartoons.
No. We're going to go to a concert. We're going to get you some glow sticks. We're going to take you to a
Ooh.
May Cafe and let them put little rabbit ears on you, Briar, so you can truly be Briar Rabbit.
That sounds awesome.
It's going to be great.
I'm in.
Sounds like a great trip.
I can't
Honestly,
wait.
seeing DCP in Japan would be amazing. I think that would be an amazing trip.
Cool. I'm down.
I'm down.
Let's go.
Nice.
Last question for the night. JB Mega says, is a pecan pronounced pecan or pecan?
I usually say pecans.
What about pecan?
Pecan.
What about pecan?
Yeah, that's a third.
I usually say pecans.
I'm from the South. It's pecan.
I think it depends on if I'm reading it or saying it from memory. I think I say pecan. I don't even know what I say.
Yeah, it's like
It depends
it's
if
like
you're trying to rhyme it with Rican. So if you're trying to rhyme it with Rican, then you gotta go pecan.
What?
This is a really difficult conversation for our family because half of it we used to live in Georgia and the South, and the other half are from the North in New York. So nobody agreed. I'm gonna say pecan because it's a Southern thing.
Pecans and peaches and pecans.
Pecan.
It's like in California, do you say almonds or almonds?
Almonds.
Almonds.
Does anybody say almonds?
People do.
What?
Who?
Do they really? Those people
Yes,
are
they do.
wrong.
I've never heard
Well,
almonds
that's what
before.
I'm saying.
I never heard it say the almonds either.
Yeah, well, you're not cultured, so.
True enough. All right, that's gonna do it. Thank you guys for watching DCP episode 179. I'm Briar Rabbit. You can find me streaming on Twitch.
179.
179? No, 79?
79.
79. How many of these things have we done?
79.
We're not in the 100 yet.
Well, I mean, we
We are
are.
technically about 179 right now, I think.
I'm Briar Rabbit. You can find me on YouTube. Just look up Briar Rabbit. I actually made videos like recently. It's amazing.
That's amazing.
Right over on Twitch. I stream every day at 1 p.m. Eastern, or talk to me over on Twitter.
My name is Tefty Teft. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter. Catch my streams, twitch.tv/Tefty Teft, usually in the evening time, Pacific West Coast. And I do have a Twitch channel. I mean, a YouTube channel. My bad.
Twitch channel.
Twitch, YouTube.
Have one of-
I have those things that people watch.
And I am Miss 5000 Watts. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube at Miss 5000 Watts.
Bears?
And I'm Paris. Thank you guys for having me again. And you can find me on Twitter at Vicious696. And you can find our podcast, gamertagradio.com.
And this is Holtzman. You can find me on the
Play Magic
Twitters. And I play Magic and just whatever. Yeah. Okay, so that's been the show tonight. I gotta make sure to follow the podcast at DCP_live. You guys are doing a great job leaving comments on YouTube and Twitch and on iTunes and all that stuff. It's been great. Your support through Patreon has been amazing. Just tonight, we were able to upload 2 more emotes to the options. It's going to go live tomorrow. And so we got, just in the span of this podcast, we got 2 more emotes.
Awesome.
So I really
awesome.
appreciate it. Thank you, guys. You should see a Dead Cat read. Dead Cat one is available now, and so is a pineapple pizza one. So
The best.
you guys are going to love
Sounds
it.
delicious.
Delicious.
I'm talking
It
about
does
the cat.
look delicious. It's juicy.
Juicy.
So anyway, thank you guys very much. Your support means the world to us. Make sure you check out our YouTube channel. The links are in the description, and we've been putting up some Let's Plays, and we are doing one every week. They're still going up on everybody's channel, so you can go to Tefty's and Briar's and Watts and Patrick's channel, and but at a certain point they'll stop being shown there, and they'll go on to our YouTube. So make sure you
Consolidate.
show some follow love there. But other than that, we've got some great guests coming up next week. We are looking at. I had it up and ready to go, and now I don't. Why?
Lori.
Why? Next week we have Lori Pops. I'm so sorry. I knew that. Lori is coming on. She's in the United States now. She's married.
Just got married.
She just got married.
Exciting
We're really
time.
excited to talk to her. We are not going to have a guest the week after that because we will be doing some sort of arrangement for half the podcast will be in at.
I think me and Tepsi get the week off. I think that's what that means. Vacation.
That'll actually be my first
Here
week
we
off.
go.
It's like I actually haven't missed a podcast.
No, you have never missed a podcast. You are our most faithful host. And we have a pretty interesting addition to our show on the 26th. Josh Hamrick will be joining us.
The Josh Hamrick?
From the Josh
The
Hamrick.
Josh
Hamrick.
So we are going to have a great show lined up for you this month. So make sure to come and hang out. And
Awesome.
Be there.
Thanks for watching, guys. We're going to show the end screen and then read out subs after that. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.